Hello, friends, and welcome to GHK Season 3, Episode 7.
Seven!
Oh. And
what a lucky number.
it is!
We totally didn't have to check that just before recording. Absolutely not.
We
No
wanted the
panic here.
smoothest intro.
Mm-hmm. So smooth, like butter.
Smooth like butter.
Thank you, K-pop.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, the song
Thanks,
Butter.
BTS.
Yeah. Don't know if I'm actually happy about it. But I will say, so small rant about butter. Very much like 2 to 3 songs mashed into one. Not very cohesive, a bit cringe.
This is an actual song. This is an actual BTS song.
Yes.
Oh my god, Kai.
Okay, I was like, what a conjecture to
Hi.
get at. Listen,
What kind of Jimin stan are you?
I listen to Big Bang, so
Oh my god, you're the worst Jimin stan that I've ever heard of.
I'm a very last generation K-pop fan.
Sorry.
Oh, that was Big Bang?
That is not Big Bang.
That's not
No.
Big Bang.
Oh, I
That's
got
Super
really
Junior.
excited.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that
Super
was
Junior.
Super Junior.
Super
You're
Junior.
Okay.
right. All right, I'm sorry about that. We did not come here to talk about K-pop today.
Hey, so my
Oh,
topic's
no.
about K-pop. No.
All right.
Please,
Okay.
that's the day we combust as a podcast.
Okay, I'm sorry, but
Welcome to
you were the one talking
GHK
about
Radio.
BTS butter.
It's girls high K-pop.
Girls hate K-pop.
Girls
What?
hate K-pop. All right, so these are the ladies that you have for you today. It is me, Girl DM, Harune, and Nemurenai Kai.
Hihipedo?
See, you leaned right into it. He's fine. He's not
Yeah,
offended in the
it's fine.
slightest. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, jokes aside, happy Lunar New Year.
Yay!
Yay!
恭喜发财!
恭喜发财! 新年
Yeah, I don't
快
know
乐!
why-
Yay!
I don't know why I said that with an accent when I could just say it in Chinese.
Gongxi Fakai. I learned that from Overwatch because Junkrat has a voice line.
Perfect.
I used to spam it. You start the game, Gongxi Fakai. Gongxi Fakai. As you're running to point, it's just me spamming it.
Yeah, like the whole thing's actually really, really long.
Go.
It's
do
like 恭喜發財，萬事如意，龍馬精神，學業進步，身體健康。
Oh, I thought there was more to that.
I think you got
there-
stuck.
There's definitely more to it. I just can't remember all of it.
You know what? It's
What
fine.
the heck? What kind of New Year's greetings are those?
It's better than mine. I literally, it's just those two. 恭喜发财 and 新年快乐. It's just those two. That's all I got. And I think you say it the other way around. I think you say Happy New Year first, and then you say 恭喜发财. So whatever. I don't know.
Here, I'll tell you how we say it here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Lunar New Year.
happy Lunar New Year. Ew.
My family being, what's Lunar New Year? We already had New Year. Why is there another one?
True.
That is true. We have like a lot of like very like odd rules too, going by not the Gregorian calendar.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh god, this isn't even a topic, but we're going off on it.
Let's go.
Are you familiar with the concept of red pockets?
Yes.
Yes, because one of my friends in middle school, her family, well, she moved, they immigrated from Malaysia like the year before she entered middle school. And I got invited over to their house for Lunar New Year, and I had no idea what it was. And I was very confused with the red pockets because I was like, wait, we're just gonna like Easter egg hunt for money in your house?
Incredible. Love that. But it's always
Yep.
nice
So, yes,
to
I do
like
know.
it is nice to not know about it and then to be like, oh, money. Okay. Like, am I not just stealing from someone? Like, is this really okay?
I was like, wait, why are your parents giving me money?
Wait, no. Not like this. But it is pleasant. So why bring up the red pockets, Kai?
Because there was like when we went to the big Chinese New Year's dinner yesterday, there was the exchanging of red pockets, and like some of the more obscure practices and stuff. Like, my dad's family always taught him that it was older to younger. So older family members would always give the red pockets to the younger family members, and that's how it's always supposed to be done. But my mom's side of the family always taught her that it was the married members of the family giving to the unmarried. So
I do
there
both.
was a bit of family drama yesterday when
Oh, no.
I had the shame of receiving a red pocket from my younger cousins who got married and
you're just like,
and I'm just like, I'm a VTuber. Wow.
wow, this is my waifu. I'm pillow with you.
So yeah, and there's this practice where you have to keep one of your red pockets under your pillow for like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, because they celebrate Lunar New Year for 15 days.
Exactly. So they're like, oh, okay, don't open this until 15, and I'm like, until the 15th, and they're like, no, until 15, and I'm like, what does
Until
that
you turn
mean?
15, Kai.
And then they're like, until February 5th. I'm like, what? How does that make sense? And then they're like, it's a whole thing having to translate like lunar to Gregorian calendars. But yeah, now I'm sleeping on a little pocket with like dollar bills in it.
You're gonna be blessed with good fortune.
Yes.
Amazing.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I think my family has always done both, but because Mama Renee's side of the family here is very small, like the rest of her family's overseas, so there isn't as much of that, and so they're like, let's not make it a big deal. Like, so my parents will give red envelope to my cousin, and then my aunt and uncle will give red envelopes to me, but it feels wrong somehow, you know? Like, it's like, I'm an adult now, you don't need to give me money. Like, I would gladly give you money because you're older, but I don't know. My family's like, don't worry about it, it's fine. So it's very nice.
Yeah, my dad kept giving me the eye for being on the receiving end.
But like, what are you supposed to do in that situation? Like,
well, why don't you find wife? Why don't you?
Is that going to change today? Like,
yeah,
you're going to give the red envelope back and be like, I'm going to go find a wife. I'll be right back.
See what's going on.
Yeah, I don't think so. So I don't know. Not worth giving the eye for, at least at that dinner. But did you have fish?
We had seafood. We had abalone.
But did you have a whole fish?
We did not have a whole fish.
Oh no! It's okay.
Why?
You had some. Well, it is tradition to have whole fish, and then to make sure that
Is
fish
it?
has left. Yeah, at least that's what Mama Renee said. Of course, it could always be different depending on like where you grew up and like what's the local practice and things like that. But that's what Mama Renee said, because we kind of talked about it last night. We're like, what are some things that are like for sure you have to do for Lunar New Year? And she immediately, without skipping a beat, was like, you gotta have a whole fish.
Oh, ours is like, you just have to be clean. Like, so right after dinner yesterday, I had to like do all the dishes, clean my apartment, and like make sure that my nails were all clipped, because you don't want to carry any waste from the last year to the new year.
Okay.
So it's like a whole routine, like a whole 1, 2, 3 step of like, you got to clean this, you got to clean this, you got to clean that. Make sure everything that can be cleaned is cleaned before it strikes midnight.
Oh,
but the whole fish thing was not brought up for us.
Interesting. I did not clean anything yesterday.
Wow, that's why you've got so much waste from last year.
Yeah, my place is as much of a mess as it ever was. So, although I do hope to clean today, but I'm also so lazy. I don't want to, like, because this is my only, like, I only get Sundays off. So it's like the only day where I'm like, well, I don't really want to do anything because I'm so tired, but it's also the only day where I can get anything done. So it's this constant conundrum of I want to rest, but also look at all this stuff I have to do. So
while you were away,
it's my day off. I get to clean.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I'm sorry. While I was away,
while you were away getting set up and stuff, DM and I we were talking about going on food quests. We're going groceries after this.
Grocery shopping is what we have to do after this recording.
The list of things she's gonna buy that she rattled off sounds way more.
I didn't even get like a super list of things because I was like, well, I need to get eggs, and then I have frozen salmon, so I need to make sure I get like stuff to make side dishes for the salmon this week, and blah blah blah. And Kai was like, well, you have everything like planned out. And I was like,
well, yes, you should when you go shopping.
The only thing I can think of right now is milk and orange juice, and that's it.
oh, I need to get more. I use oat milk, like barista style oat milk, so that I can make myself lattes in the morning.
Ooh.
I actually removed a few shelves from my fridge so that I could fit in more like large 2-liter bottles of drink. Like I think 80% of my fridge is just beverages.
That's frightening.
I've got milk, I've got orange juice, I've got papaya juice, I've got mango juice.
How
I
do you
can
drink those
basically
all
make
before
like,
they ferment.
I can basically make like any like virgin cocktail.
Nice. Big fan.
How do you do? How do you before?
Listen.
How much do you drink a lot?
Not alcohol, but yes, I basically always have a drink in hand.
I was the same way for a long while. Like, if I could and I would prefer to, like, I would opt out meals for just constantly having a beverage.
Right.
Because I never really got like super hungry. It was always just I just want something like to drink or something. Like I was always more of a beverage person than a food person. As much as I love food, but like with food, if you overeat, you feel like garbo. Whereas like if you overdrink, you just like get rid of it all, you know? Without getting too graphic.
We know DM's got like a bowl of oatmeal under the recording desk, but like
what? No, I already finished it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
My breakfast this morning was half a glass of orange juice and a glass of water, so.
Oh,
how is that? That's not breakfast, dude.
It's something I put in my mouth in the morning. It's good enough.
That's not breakfast.
Listen, I'll eat it.
Water is not breakfast unless you're in like the prisoner of war camp.
Actually, with recording and groceries, I probably won't eat till dinner.
Oh my god.
And well, remember though, DM, it's all these high in sugar drinks that he's drinking in between.
He's just gonna, man, I am excited to chat with Kai in 20 years as he loses all of his teeth.
I'm gonna die in 15, let's be real.
Well, let's not start off the new year with wishes of early death.
Yeah. My calculations to oh goodness.
Actually, if it's all right with you guys, I can't remember if I went first last week or not. Or not last week, but last time. But is it okay if I go first again today?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, somebody's excited for their topic.
It's just because we were already on the topic of Lunar New Year that I felt like if I didn't go first, then my topic would be moot by the time we got there.
It's called bookends. You could start the same way you end, but go ahead. Yes.
Okay. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit. I mean, we already talked a little bit about like yes, the Lunar New Year, obviously it follows the lunar calendar. It does not follow the Gregorian or the Western calendar. I wasn't going to talk about the history or like the brass tacks of the Lunar New Year. I wanted to do something just a little bit more fun. So I thought we could maybe look at the Zodiac animals.
Yeah.
Because people love that stuff, right? Like,
yeah.
The same with like astrology, like, oh, you're a Gemini, here's your personality, you match up great with Sagittarius's or something, you know what I mean? Like, so I thought maybe we'd talk about that today. So there are 12 animals in the Zodiac.
Yes,
and there is a story behind it. If anyone has ever seen Fruits Basket, you will know more than most people, I think.
Also true.
And it goes in this order: rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, sheep, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. And then the order just repeats itself. So you'll always have your year every 12 years. So the year you were born is your year, obviously. And then once you turn 12, that is your next year. And then 24 and then
36, 48.
Yeah. So, of course, I'm not sitting here asking that like you guys give your years and we, do a deep dive into your personality because that can be a bit doxing. So,
yes.
yes. But I thought maybe we could just go through. I mean, if we went through all 12, I don't know. That could take a really long time. But are there some?
Let's do this year's.
Okay.
And what last year's was, and next year's.
Oh, good plan. Good plan. Okay, I like that. I like that. So we'll start with this year then, since that is what we are celebrating. So this is the year of the rabbit.
The Wascoey Wabbits.
Yeah, the Wasco Wabbits.
The Wasco.
In Mandarin, it's called Tu. What do they call rabbit in Cantonese?
To.
To? Okay. All right. It sounds much.
You could just have like a town mouse, country mouse, like, but with rabbits from different parts of China. It's just called Tu.
Just country bumpkin rabbit. All right, so here we go. I will read. So this is from the travelchinaguide.com. So if need be, and I think I will, I'll post these links in the description. So 2023 is the year of the rabbit based on the Chinese zodiac. This is a year of the water rabbit. So not only do you get an animal, like with the year association, but there's also, I guess, elements. And I don't quite understand how the element thing works.
Okay, so they're all under the avatar, who is the
Everything was fine until the Fire Nation attacked.
Yeah, this rabbit's if you guys were born, anyone who's born this year is a water rabbit. So now you are not only a rabbit, but you can water bend, which would honestly be dope.
Let's go.
I know, right? So this is the year of the water rabbit, starting from January 22nd, 2023. Obviously, and lasting till February 9th, 2024. So rabbit ranks 4th in the 12-year cycle of the Chinese zodiac. The years of the rabbit include, so if you guys don't know if this is your year, I will have a list of years for you going as far back as 1915.
Wow.
Wow, we have some old some old listeners.
Some really old listeners, the GHK.
Well, it could be cool like if people, to do ancestor stuff. 1927, 1939, 1951, 1963, 1975, 1987, 1999, so more likely closer to all of you listeners out there, 2011, and 2023. So I don't think there's actually anyone in my family who's a rabbit. I don't know if I have anyone.
Bunnies.
No buns.
No, I also don't have any rabbits in my family. Now that I'm thinking about it.
So cute though, rabbits. So for Chinese people, the rabbit is a tame. So I'm just reading what this website says. It says for Chinese people, but I don't know if it's just for Chinese people.
This only applies if you're Chinese.
The rabbit is a tame creature representing hope and life for a long time. It is tender and lovely. Are we talking about the meat of a rabbit or the personality of a rabbit?
If you're engaging in cannibalism, we suggest people that are water rabbits this year.
They are tender. They are nice.
Oh, no.
The moon goddess Chang'e in the Chinese legend has a rabbit as her pet, which stimulates the thought that only this creature is amiable enough to match her noble beauty. Another way of saying is that the rabbit is the incarnation of the moon goddess per se, and it is always a symbol of pureness and auspiciousness. You can also think like the Japanese folk legend of the rabbit making mochi on the moon, right? So somehow rabbits seem to be often tied with the moon in that way. People born in the year of the rabbit are gentle and approachable. They have a decent, noble, and elegant manner. So, yeah, that's
wow. So everybody born this year is just going to be like super charismatic. I feel like if they're Chinese.
Yeah, only if they're Chinese.
Rise of a new generation of Chinese TikTokers. Let's go.
Oh God.
Oh, no.
So, like when I listed the years earlier, I said, like the most applicable probably being starting from like 87 and then 99, 2011, 2023. So remember how I said 2023 was the year of the water rabbit?
Yes.
So if you were born in 2011, you are a metal rabbit. If you were born in 1999, you are an Earth rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were born in 1987, you are a fire rabbit.
This very much sounds like a whole Pokemon deal.
It sure does.
Yep.
And then, of course, both at 1975 or 12 years from now, when we have people born in 2035, they will be wood rabbits. So wood and earth are different. I'm guessing dirt and branch. So,
Okay.
lucky signs for people born in the year of the rabbit include lucky numbers 3, 4, and 9. Your lucky colors are red, blue, pink, and purple. Your lucky flowers are the snapdragon, which is one of my favorites, plantain lily, and nerve plant. I didn't know what that is. And your lucky directions, if that should be anything at all, is east, southeast, and south.
That it all ties into like Chinese like beliefs and mythologies and stuff, like the elements wheel, the feng shui, the directions and all that.
Yeah, I suppose so. Okay, so they have strengths, weaknesses, rabbit men, rabbit women, all of that stuff. So I'm just going to go through those super quick, and then we'll go into last year's and next year's. So strengths include optimistic, gracious, generous, kind-hearted, witty, and alert. Their weaknesses are they can be a little vain, emotionally unstable,
Oh boy.
easily satisfied with the status quo. Interesting. Rabbit men are prone to be gentlemen, but they are also good at pretending. Okay.
So you're saying Mr. Darcy's a rabbit?
Yeah.
Mr. Darcy.
Mr. Darcy. Or maybe better is his ex-friend, Mr. Oh, not Mr. Bingley. Who's
Oh yeah, what was the name of the other guy?
Oh my god! Oh no!
No.
I'm a huge Pride and Prejudice fan. This can't happen to me. Oh my god.
I've never read the book.
No, cease your infernal yapping. I must think. Oh my god, who marries Lydia? Mr. Wickham. Mr. Wickham.
Mr. Wickham. Yes,
Mr. Wickham. Okay, I'm sorry. I told you to cease your infernal yapping.
Sure.
It's very, no, you don't understand the cultural impact Pride and Prejudice has had.
I
Kai.
don't, because I've never read the book.
You don't need to read the book. There's like multiple perfect adaptations of it. I suggest the BBC one, which is like 6 hours long, but it's really, really good.
Yes! Oh my god. Colin Firth is the best Mr. Darcy forever and ever.
Yes, he is. Yes.
Whew.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, anyway, I'm sorry. Let's continue. So they may pretend that they don't care about something. However, they do care deep down. The active thinking enables them to have excellent negotiation skills at work. It says, what's more, family men, rabbit men, are family-oriented and glad to undertake the household chores.
Family men are rabbits.
Yep.
Yep. Button. Don't chew through the cables.
Oh my god, that'd be so cute. But yeah, don't chew through cables. Rabbit women are highly sensible and approachable. They always leave people with an impression of elegance and graciousness and don't like any indecent behaviors. They are also talented in business, considerate at work, and can easily find out the crux. I don't know what the heck that means. That's a weird sentence to end on. But yeah, that is that. If you want to talk about compatibility, which I'll just slip in real quick. The best matches for any rabbit is the sheep, the monkey, a dog, or a pig. Bork, bork. Both the rabbit and the sheep are family-oriented, and they can surely make a harmonious family. Rabbits and dogs can also trust and understand each other to build a lasting and fresh relationship. The pig's honesty and simplicity are just to the smart rabbit's liking. Bad matches, though. Stay away from snakes and roosters.
Ooh.
Due to the lack of passion and intimacy, it is hard for the rabbits and the indifferent snakes to keep a close relationship. The mild and gentle rabbit cannot tolerate the aggressive rooster, and they probably have a lot of conflicts and disagreements in marriage life.
Ooh.
So
Suddenly we went from like making friends to matchmaking.
well, that's just all on this list here is all things. So yeah, so that's the year of the rabbit, and specifically for this year, water rabbits. So
Wow.
if you want a further oh bless you a
Wow.
further understanding of just the what the elemental part of that is, like anyone can go online and check what their years are and things like that, and then you can sort of dive a bit deeper into the actual elements. But there's that. So that was the rabbit. That is this year. Last year was the year of the tiger.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes if you were born in 1974, 1986, 1998, 2010, and obviously 2022 being last year. It says tigers considered to be brave, cruel, forceful, and terrifying.
Oh, I thought none of those were positive.
Speaking of cruel, I
Yeah?
think it's rather cruel that I've been making eyes with our guest who's very late, locked outside the studio for a while now.
Oh no! Well, they can come in.
She showed up
We're
late
waiting
and
for
been
a
locked
moment.
outside.
We're
I've
waiting for a
been
moment.
I've just
I
been
will let the
locked eyes with
guest
her.
in. I will let the guest in.
We might have to do some on camera rearrangements. We got to make room for
Yeah,
our
yeah.
guest, but that's totally fine. Yeah, let them in
Just been making eyes with them through the recording
through the window. Let me in, please.
You don't get to come in until Harune's done her topic.
I was waiting for a good segue.
Me too.
That's what you said.
I know it never came.
I'm sorry.
Me and Kai were speaking psychically to each other and not letting Harune know that we had like an objective.
Well,
We did this to her.
that's totally fine.
I was looking for a segue and then immediately just went into last year. I was like, oh no, that's right. We have 2 more years to go through.
I'm sorry.
We can let our
Alright.
guest in. We
Alright,
had,
Yes,
we
yes.
had slight scheduling things. That the difficulty with being across multiple time zones and arranging stuff is that we're across multiple time zones arranging stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought there was like a glitch in my brain, and I was like, "Am I hearing the same words twice?"
Yep, that's why it's the problem.
It is the problem. Oh my god!
There is the bean.
The bean.
Oh,
Oh, the
oh.
Okay. There we go. I've decided. Perfect! Perfect! I'm gonna send. Hang on. I'm just gonna send a little group photo. This is adorable.
We have a little gnome.
Yes. Oh my god.
Okay. one
Oh
second.
no, Graves got
Here.
the Discord call glitch.
There.
Wait.
There.
Oh,
No,
there you go.
I'm ringing her. I'm ringing her.
Okay.
There you guys go. There's our group photo.
worked.
Hello.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, look at the group picture. So you don't have to move yourself around at all. Multi-V Harune can move everyone around.
Yes. Yeah, everything's already all set. We're good.
Hello.
What's going on?
Hello.
There she is.
I did it.
Hello.
I did it. There was no call showing, but I clicked the join and it brought me here.
You made it.
Yay!
You're here
finally
safely.
got her through the door. It's
Bro.
oh my goodness.
I
is
could have
that-
swore to Kami-sama it was gonna be at 11 a.m. That's why I set my alarm for 10:30.
Oh,
Oh no. Oh no.
that's
Kai
okay.
said that you were up late too, so
Mm.
I'm
Yeah, I did
always up late.
I did see you working until quite late last night, so.
I was
But oh my god, is that world-renowned webtoons author GraveWeaver?
okay.
And
Let's
artist.
push it
Okay.
a little bit.
And
creator,
artist?
and soon to be published.
I guess. Sure.
Wow, what an
That's
honor.
definitely. Yeah, I am so happy to be here. I am still waking up as well, but that's
Good
okay.
morning, Starshine.
I'm gonna let you in
The
on a
Earth
secret,
says
and the
hello.
audience in on a secret. We
What?
all are.
Okay, that's good. What? It's not so early. This is the
What?
earliest I've.
No,
this
I was up at 8:30 this morning. Like
Whoa.
I went to the gym.
Mm, I woke up
Yep.
20 minutes before
And-
recording.
Nope, and then I came back and I made a coffee and I sat down on the couch and regretted going to the gym.
Oh no.
That's That's I have never been to the gym in my life, so you have your life way together.
I've got some horror stories. Like I've only been going for 3 weeks, and I've already got some stories about some of the people there. That's just like,
oh
how
no,
people are animals. So
Yeah,
alright.
some people don't wipe down the machines when they're done with it.
Oh no,
Ugh.
a lot of people do that, and I've kind of gotten over that because I'm like, you know what? I'll just double wipe it. I'll wipe it before I use the machine. I'll wipe it when I'm done with the machine. But
Mhm.
Thank you.
what takes the cake is earlier this week I witnessed a gentleman who finished his workout, walking around shaving his beard.
Oh no!
What?
Why?
And he wasn't like an old senile guy. He looked definitely like mid-20s at the
What?
youngest.
Selfish.
just like,
Selfish is what that is.
Wow, you were raised in a barn.
Yeah, like sorry, I didn't know you owned the place.
Yep. He's just walking around outside of the bathrooms shaving his beard.
What the
Did he just let it drop on the floor? Like,
Yep.
Ew.
Yep.
disgusting. What
Disgusting.
the heck? Wow, that's really gross. I mean, I never been to the gym. I don't know what happens there, but I have heard from the grapevine.
I've heard of
people
this
who
fabled
do
land.
Go there, yeah, that it is a very stressful place to be. I guess.
Sometimes it is. I have a friend that I've been doing, like, he goes to the gym at the same time as me, so we'll just like message each other back and forth on Discord, and both of us are like, okay, head into the gym. Oh no, there's a lot of people here. Welp, avoiding eye contact and going to this machine that's at the end of my workout, but I'm doing it first because it's the only one that nobody's near.
Yep.
It's like a breeding ground for disease too, because people are sweating and they're huffing and they're pissing and
Hopefully
And
not.
crying.
yeah,
Oh
That's
my
what-
goodness.
that's what I think. But you know what? You are doing a good thing by going to the gym because you're
Mhm.
gonna
Cute.
get fit and you're gonna live
Uh-huh.
longer than all of us combined.
True. True. Well,
You
Kai
missed it-
only has
you missed
15
it earlier,
years.
but Kai apparently has like set his year span that he has an
Lifespan?
objective for. Like his end game, he's already set it, and you're just like, wow, that's
Are you
Listen, if
setting
I-
it?
If
Are
I
you
make
setting
if I make it
low?
for another 15
Yeah, he
years,
set
I'd
it
be
low.
pretty happy.
Okay, you're gonna make it for 15 years, bud. Let's not be too pessimistic here.
That's what I
No, 20.
said.
you should
20
listen
is
to
pushing
GraveWeaver, the creator of I'm the Grim Reaper, who knows about people's dates of death
Yes.
because of creating the Grim, you know?
Yes.
I am well versed
Sphere of
on
death.
when you'll die. It's like that. It's like, well, no, but it's like remember in Death Note where like
Yeah.
Light got that offer to like, if you cut your lifespan in half, you can see when everyone's gonna die, but he didn't take it.
Yeah.
I wish he took it.
Right?
Then we would have had to watch that awful second part.
Before we continue, though, I just wanted to make sure we have Grave set up with audio. Grave, do you have Audacity running?
I have a OBS recording.
Yeah, OBS.
Okay,
should
so you are
work for
recording?
just- yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
I
okay,
am
okay.
recording.
I mean,
Let's
do you
go.
have your recording mic clipped on properly? Roleplay. Yeah. Okay.
Me? Or
No.
you?
we
We're good,
purchased
we're
a
good,
little
we're good.
we purchased a little mic that's perfect for gnomes. So
Clipped it on her little gnome hat.
yep. She's all
Yay!
set and ready. So
Oh goodness.
we were just talking about the Lunar New Year. Because this
Mhm.
year is the year of the rabbit. So we went over
Wait, 1 second.
Mhm.
I'm
Oh.
so sorry.
Yeah.
Are you guys relying on me for the audio recording?
No,
Because
no,
I need to
no.
double check.
No.
Okay.
Where you just need to record your own voice.
Okay, because I think it is only recording my own voice.
Yep,
because-
That's
fine.
what we need.
Yep.
That's what we need.
That's
Yes.
exactly what we need.
Okay, poggers.
We've got Harune doing a master recording, but then to get better audio, we each record our own with our separate mics, and then we kind of like overlay it the master recording.
Oh,
Mhm.
Harune the mastermind.
with my super strong laptop.
Nice.
But yes, so we were talking about the Lunar New Year. Went through
Woo.
the rabbit's years, personality, compatibility, all that good stuff. So we're talking about last year, and then we're going to do next year.
But also,
Yes.
while I didn't get a chance to say it because I was like, messaging Grave while you were talking about the rabbits.
Yeah,
You brought up another point earlier, Fruits Basket.
yeah.
Yeah.
And in Fruits Basket, there's that one character. I believe their name was Kyo. It's been a long time since I last
Yeah, he's a
read
cat.
Fruits Basket. The
Kyo's
cat.
The
Yeah.
orange hair.
And the whole story of Fruits Basket explains why cats aren't part of the Zodiac.
Yes.
Because they were tricked by the rat.
Yes.
But actually, cats are part of the Zodiac, just not the Chinese Zodiac.
Yeah.
They're part of the Vietnamese Zodiac.
Oh.
It's the year of the cat this year in the Vietnamese Zodiac.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
they actually take the place of the rabbit in the Zodiac for the Vietnamese version.
Oh, wow. Why
Rabbit.
swap it with a rabbit?
Some people speculate that just because the word for rabbit and the word for cat are very similar in Vietnamese.
Mm.
I don't know the full history of it. I don't have any Vietnamese family members, but yeah, like I just thought it was interesting that you brought it up, the Fruits Basket thing, because I was like, oh well, that's cat. Cats technically are here,
I guess,
but also
that's...
because I grew up with the story of the cat being pushed in the rivers. So
Yeah, I never knew that there was a Zodiac cycle that involved the cat at all. But that's super cool. Now that I bet there are tons of like cat people out there who are like, I want that to be this year. Like, I don't care about rabbits. Give me cat. Yeah,
Rabbit's pretty goated too. Rabbits are
cute.
there's no goats though. There's no goats.
No,
on the Zodiac.
bunnies are good too. Brooke.
They've got
my sons.
like the character for sheep, or it's like sheep, goat, ram, whatever you want to call it. It's under the same umbrella of the same like kanji character.
Mhm.
So you can call it whatever you like. I've heard people call it goat. I've heard people call it sheep. I've heard people call it ram. But there is a year of the goat is the point I'm trying to make here.
When I said goated, I meant greatest of all time.
We know.
I didn't.
Oh,
We love goats. Okay, we love goats.
Goats are good too. I like
in
goats.
this house. Yeah, the one they scream. We're like, we love them.
Yep.
I always go for the goats at the petting zoo because they got big old pot bellies, and you pat them,
true.
and
You
they're
do the
real
pats.
cute.
They'll have baby goats too, and they're
Yes.
super cute.
there
Baby
there
goats are very cute.
are. I mean, the Korean Zodiac replaces the sheep with a goat.
But
Wait.
they're the same.
No, wait.
I like sheep too.
Someone somewhere has goat, and Koreans use sheep instead of. Okay,
But
I'm a
it's the
little
same
confused trying to read
character.
this.
Like they
Somebody
represent
here
the same
has a
thing.
goat, and it's not me.
Yeah. But like it's got like a lot of these little like minor differences. Like in Japanese Zodiac, it's specifically a boar instead of just a pig, like a wild boar.
Oh yeah.
Inoshishi instead of buta.
Mm-hmm.
Cambodian Zodiac, they have a turtle.
Oh,
We're
Whoa.
legit. We
Yeah,
love
the
turtles.
turtle replaces the
Turtle?
monkey. In
I
Cambodia.
actually don't even. I don't. That sounds right, but I actually don't know. I'm Cambodian, by the way, so I feel like I should know that.
cool.
But I
Whoa,
don't.
I'm so
No.
glad that you told Kai this, Sapak, so he could tell us, so he could seem really cool and worldly. Thank you, Grace.
I mean, I would have to. I have never asked, and it's never come up. Is there a turtle? I mean, I'm gonna just take your word for it. My mom's a Cambodian one, not me. I'm the dumb American.
That's fine. We've all got that where we're like, Mom, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
What's the
Yeah, my mom
actual-
told me she was gonna take me to like a Lunar New Year celebration this year, but I asked her, and she was like, "I'm tired."
Oh, that sounds like a mom.
I was like, but I want to go to the celebration. I've never even been to one, so I don't even know what it's like. And she's like, oh, I'm too tired. I want to drive up there. There's gonna be traffic. Bah, 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 bah. And I was like, okay, I'll just stay home and work.
Well, you know what though?
Aw.
It do be what it is, though.
Lunar New Year is
Sad.
celebrated for 15 days. So I guess anytime within
Yes.
these next 15 days, there could be and should be some activities set up that involve some sort of party or celebration. And I think it ends with the Lantern Festival, which is in February. And if there is a possibility to go check that out, that is so cool.
Yeah, I think she's gonna hold off for Cambodian New Year, which is in April, and then we're
Mhm.
gonna go all over the place because I think she doesn't. The Cambodians, they don't feel as passionate over Lunar New Year as Cambodian New Year. It's kind of just like meh. It's like what? It's like freaking. What do we not really celebrate? It's like St. Patrick's Day. Okay,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry. I'm sorry, any people out there who are just like super passionate for St. Patrick's Day. You know, you love kissing that Blarney Stone or whatever they do on that day. But
No, they
most
just-
people don't do much on St. Patrick's Day, right? That's how my mom feels
Well,
really
you
about
get the
Lunar
green
New Year.
food coloring and you put it in your beer. All right.
Yeah,
That's
that's all I
sacred.
know. Everyone gets the Shamrock Shake at McDonald's and then just gets wasted. That's all I know.
Wait,
If I
but
have
love
upset,
Shamrock
like,
Shake.
Anybody who is like a super St. Patrick's Day fan, I am so sorry, but I have never met anyone who's like, oh my god, St. Patrick's Day.
I just
Let's
quietly
go.
heard Harune say, "I'm sorry."
Well, no,
You
I
love
said
St. Patrick's Day?
no. I love the Shamrock Shakes, or at least I used to. But now
know,
I'm
that's
lactose intolerant, so I
valid.
can't. So I just eat a lot of things
Aw.
with mint.
Aww,
I like
that
mint.
sucks.
After eights,
What are those?
mint chocolates.
I don't know those. Must be
Never
a
heard of
Canadian
that.
thing.
After 8?
Yeah, after 8.
After you ate, you're full. So why
No,
are
like
you eating?
after 8 p.m.
I have no idea what that is.
That's when I wake up.
It's a brand.
No,
of
they're
mint
called.
chocolate.
It's not just in Canada. It's called After Eight, but it's those little dark chocolate and mint thins that you get at fancy restaurants.
Oh, those Andes mints?
Yeah. After Eight's just another brand of them.
Oh, those are spicy.
I love those. Those are so good. Andes mints are so good. You
I
mean
have
like
not
cold
ate them,
spicy?
and they be spicy. I've
Is spice how you
barely-
describe mint? Yeah, sure.
Mint is cold spicy.
Cold spicy.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's spicy.
Wasabi is smelly spicy.
Oh.
It's needles in your nose
Just
spicy.
imagining Grave being like, I can't have this ice cream. It's too spicy.
Yeah, minty spicy. Well, I love spicy food, but I don't like minty stuff. It like hurts my nose.
Oh my
so
God, I
are
love
you the
that.
same to me? Do you not like wasabi either?
No, I hate wasabi.
Oh, I love
It hurts my
Thank you.
nose.
Thank you. No wasabi. Wasabi's gross.
Who was it?
It's
Oh my
like
gosh.
wasabi.
Oh wait, no, go ahead. Sorry.
DM,
What?
I
What?
love you.
Sorry.
I mean, we do, but what?
So we're going on a tangent, but like one more thing I'll add before I continue, or we can even move on to the next topic. We don't have to cover the other years. But I was at a funeral a couple months ago, like in November, and there were a couple kids at the funeral, and they had like a small eating section, just so that, you know, if people wanted to be there all day, because it was like for the viewing, that they could have something to eat and you know, not feel like they have to leave or anything. So there were like chip snack packs, and they had Doritos Cool Ranch, and then they had regular Doritos, among many others. So the kids wanted the Cool Ranch flavor. They both had one chip and then put the bag down and were like, it's too spicy.
He's too spicy.
Okay, that's
That
a
is
bit.
a roller coaster of a story. Oh my
That's a
god.
bit much. At the
I
funeral,
was like,
the
what?
Doritos Cool Ranch were too spicy. I
mean,
situation.
everybody there was confused. We're like, what are you talking? What do you mean spicy? There's no spice. It's called Cool Ranch. Like,
Yo, that's like my dad. Like, my mom's Cambodia, but my dad's white, and he thinks like he thinks the sun is too spicy. Like, if he's out in the sun for too long, he's like, oh, it's too spicy. Like, we were giving him like, I can't remember, we made something with like you know, bell peppers in it, and he's like, oh, this is so spicy, and I'm like, no, you are lying.
there's no spice in bell peppers. It's a bell
He
pepper.
He was just like, oh, it's too it was like a stir fry or something, and it had bell
What?
peppers, and there was no spice in it. It was like teriyaki sauce or something my mom had made, and he ate it, and he's like, oh, it's so spicy, and I was like, never say that in my home again.
Yeah, that's gotta
That
be
is-
like placebo. That is not real. That's like Mama Harune when she like cooks drunken chicken. You know, when you use cooking alcohol, you cook the alcohol out of it,
Yeah.
right? She'll still eat it and be like, oh, it's making me lightheaded. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Yo,
It's science. There's
Let's
no.
welcome to the placebo effect.
That's
I'm
what I
getting
mean.
so smashed off this chicken, dog.
That's what I was like.
That's
There's
crazy.
no way. You're messed up. That's not. It's not normal.
That's not how this works.
That's not
That
normal.
is so funny.
Just absolutely determined. Okay, but I think I'll say my piece here. Like, we're 44 minutes in. We've got 3 other topics to get through. But last year, like I said, was Year of the Tiger. Next year is the Year of the Dragon.
Wow.
So y'all got a lot to look forward to.
Look at all them Dargans.
Ooh.
We love lizards. They're so cool.
Do you guys know any dragons?
My mom.
Sick.
She's definitely got the personality of one.
Noise.
Not an immediate family, no.
I've got 2 family members. One's a dragon and one's a tiger.
Wow, the coolest ones on the
I know. I was like, bruh.
The freaking apex predators. They snack on the rest of us.
It's true.
My little brother is also a tiger.
Ooh.
And it's really, it sounds a lot cuter than it is, but like he has this little group of friends growing up from grade school who they went to the same school like for all their years, primary and middle school. So it's like a little friend group that lasted from kindergarten to like the 8th grade. And all the, PTA functions and stuff, like our parents and their parents would always kind of get together and stuff. So they would start this little group chat on like, WhatsApp and all that. And it's labeled the Little Tigers Club because it's all the kids of the same year, so they're all little tigers.
Oh my god, that is both upsetting and adorable.
So it's like it always sounds so cute when we have like a little function or like a family gathering or whatever, and like, oh, let's invite the Little Tigers Club, and then it's like, it sounds so cute, and then it's just all these snot-nosed brats showing up, and I'm like, ugh.
Hate them.
Because I'm always the one babysitting the Tigers Club, so.
Is there a word for a baby tiger? Is that just a cub?
It's just
Yes.
Yeah, tiger cub.
I was thinking like a tiget.
a tiget.
Yeah,
A
like
tiget.
a baby
A tiglet.
tiger.
No, that's the worst word. Oh my god. But yeah, so that's it. That's my topic.
Nice.
Yeah. So happy Lunar New Year. All right, who's
Happy
next?
New
Year.
Yeah.
All these little wabbits out there.
Yes, rabbits, be careful. You're the absolute bottom of the food chain. But it's your year.
I mean, we
But
have
your
rats
year,
on. We have
you're gonna
rats.
get devoured.
You're right. Wait, what would win in a fight? A rat or a rabbit? Rats are kind of like insane. So
Rats are kind of insane. Just a bit,
yeah, I mean, like if I like made them fight in this theoretical world, because animal violence is not okay. Don't do that in real life. But in this theoretical world where a rat was fighting a rabbit, right? I don't know which one I would bet on because the rabbit's bigger, but the rat is like unhinged.
I very much would likely bet on the rat, if I'm going to be honest.
Well, there we go. Rabbit's bottom of the food chain. What can you do? But it's okay, rabbits, because you're cute as hell. We love you.
That's their survival.
Love the buns.
I just foresee so many rabbit-themed VTubers claiming it's their year, even if they're not rabbits.
Yo, it's all our year. We're not. Wait, are any of you guys rabbits?
Nope.
No.
It's your year anyway.
But
You know why? Every year's
But
your
I
year.
like Brooke, so like that counts, I think.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
He's fine.
Even the cat VTubers claiming it to be her. Oh my god. Girl at the M is what did I say? Was it Malaysian? No, Vietnamese.
Every year is your year. It
Every
doesn't
year
matter
is my
if
year.
it's
Every year
rabbit.
is my year.
Yeah, it's gonna be your year, okay?
Girl at
There's
the M is
not-
eternal.
But it actually is my year, by the way, because I looked at the luck chart for like all the animals, and dog is like number 1. I'm a dog, so it actually is my year. Sorry, rabbits.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, get them.
Let's go.
Let's
Bam.
go.
Also,
Ah.
dogs are cuter. Bam.
True.
Cute,
Dogs are loyal and will do literally anything for you within reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I actually think they're both very cute. I just wanted to own rabbits, but you know, the dogs, they're like, ugh, I love them. They're so cute. You just see a dog and it's like immediately it wants to be your friend. So like, you know, dogs, definitely a 10 out of 10 on the animal scale.
Yeah, true. I feel
Yeah, we
bad
rate them.
when people are like, oh, like dogs are too dependent. They're so needy. I'd rather have a cat, which is like a fair thing to say, like in terms of you want a pet that's a little bit more reliant, but I think that's just like such a low take for dogs in general, because there's so many different kinds of dogs and they all have so many different like personalities. And yes, you like can't you have to potty train your dog to go outside. Yeah. On like a cat that has its own kitty litter. Like, I guess there are those differences, but like, that's just mean to be like, dogs are stupider than cats, so I want a cat.
Yeah, they're both
pretty
good.
stupid cats.
I like them both. I don't know. Both. I see dog lovers always hate on cats, and cat lovers sometimes hate on dogs. I'm just gonna say they're both great. If I could like have a dog and a cat in my apartment, I would absolutely have both. I would love it.
If I wasn't so allergic to cats.
Yeah, sad.
Also a big fan of both. I think I just prefer a cat's temperament, but I still very much like dogs.
Dogs are cute.
I love the joy of a dog.
Yeah, the only thing is you have to take them out to like poop all the time, which I'm like, I can't go outside enough. And in my apartment, I can only have 2 animals, and I already have 2 cats, so I can't bring another one.
Wow.
Which is a lot of animals for an apartment anyway. So you know what? It's fine. And my cats are glad I don't have a dog. They probably cursed my very existence. So.
Speaking of cats, though, does our resident cat girl, the Yem, like to present her topic?
Yes.
Yeah.
My topic is, so I've been going to the gym. I'm on I just finished week 3, so next week is week 4, which according to all of the guides and stuff, it's like you stop getting the fatigue-y feeling after you finish week 4. So I'm really looking forward to that, because I tell you, I have life is difficult when you have to work out like every single day. Like,
it's true.
Like I have 5 days of like muscle training, and each one's a different like tailored segment so that I don't overwork muscle groups, and then cardio's every day. So what things have you been considering doing or have started doing, or you've me talking about this has made you realize, oh, maybe I should do this to improve quality of life for yourself this year?
Nothing.
Nice. She was like, I was not inspired by anything you said.
Grave's life is perfect. There's no improvement from perfection.
I'm just being honest. I changed nothing. I didn't decide to go to the gym. I'm just gonna let my body waste away. You know what? I don't have time to go to the gym. That's the real thing. I am just constantly working. I guess and when New Year's hit, I was like kind of like taking a break before New Year's. And then New Year's hit, and I just got 100% back on the work trade every single day. Go, 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 go. And I'm still there. So.
Do you feel burnt out at all?
Never.
Never?
Burnout is not a thing I experience.
Grave is a machine.
Wow.
I don't know what burnout is. I do feel like physically, sometimes my hand like physically hurts and I have to stop.
Yeah.
But like terms of mentally burnout, you know what though? I'm just talking personal experience, by the way, because within the comic space and webtoon space, burnout is very, very, very common. And I don't want my experience to like speak over anybody else's experience, because it's
gently putting my hand to touch the hiatus strips that I've been like, you take your time and come back. I've been waiting 8 months, but you can take your time.
Yeah, we are so glad when people are patient with us. And they just did like a study recently from the Korean webtoon artists, and webtoon artists are like 1/3, 1/4, some number higher chance to have depression than like the normal population, because they're so overworked.
Yeah. Anytime that there's like, I see a notice and it's like, sorry, this season was a little bit shorter. I'm going to take a break for like at least 4 months. I'm like, you come back healthy. Okay.
Yeah.
Just if I get updates eventually, you know what? I still read D Gray Man.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
And Hunter x Hunter 2, we want them to take breaks.
Take your breaks. I will wait for you. I'm gonna stay healthy and happy so that I can continue to read your freaking comic every time you update it. Just don't stop.
Wait.
Yeah, so it's so stressful for some people. I was about to say I'm built different. No, I don't mean that. I mean it like my brain is wired like the wrong way, where it doesn't experience like rest or work it just
Mhm.
experiences like being entertained and being not entertained,
Mhm.
I guess. And so work is entertaining, just like playing a
Mhm.
video game would be entertaining. But you know, maybe
That's
you guys
great,
like
though.
understand like when you play a video game for too long, sometimes it's really hard to get back into doing work because
Yeah.
your brain is like rewired to do the video game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get like that too, so I can't take a break for too long, or else like I can't even take a break actually. Even if I take a break for like one day, my brain is like messed up. I have to do like intersperse. Like I can play a game for like 3 hours and then I can go work, right?
Mhm.
And then my brain won't be messed up. But if I take a whole day to play a game, which is by the way how I like to play games, I like to do the same thing all day. If it's work or play or
I
like
know. We've been playing Final Fantasy together every Friday for months, and we've only been doing the same thing.
yeah. Well, okay, no, I mean like I start the game at like 1 p.m. when I wake up, and then I end it at like 5 a.m. when I'm done. Right?
No.
That's how I do stuff. But like if I do that, then my brain gets rewired because my brain thinks like, oh, this is the important thing. We're gonna only focus on this, right?
Mhm.
So I have to be careful not to like play too much games, or else my brain will turn into that. So I have to make sure to work because my brain also, when I'm working, I call it working quote. It's drawing, but it's
Yeah.
fun, right?
It's work for you,
I mean,
though.
it is.
Like,
It is your
it's
job.
your
It
income.
is your job.
It
Exactly.
is. It just feels kind of weird when I'm like, oh yeah, I'm working, and then I'm talking to like normal people. I mean, you guys are
Mhm.
definitely normal people,
I don't
but
know about that, but
normies. I'm
And-
talking to normies, right? Like my like people I meet like for the first time in real life, and I say something about working, and then they immediately assume I'm in like an office or something.
Yeah.
And then I have to be like, oh no, you know, I'm drawing, and they're like, oh, but that's fun. You know what? I am working. Okay.
yes.
I am working, but it's fun work, right? It's like when I'm drawing, I'm enjoying myself no matter like, unless I'm drawing something that I really don't want to do. Like if we're in a chapter that's like a lot of like shots I do not want to draw, then sometimes it can get really painful, but usually it's fun. It's almost always fun.
Mhm.
So yes.
And about an hour into the podcast, for those that didn't get it the first time, Grave is a full-time webtoon author.
Yes.
And our
Yes,
special
she-
guest today.
And well, I think they figured that out in the last hour.
Hey, you
I
said
just-
they didn't get it yet, so I'm just stating the obvious.
Yeah.
Yes, she does draw a series called "I Am the Grave."
I am the Grave Weaver.
I am the Grim
Grave
Reaper
Weaver.
over on
That's
Webtoons.
the autobiography TV
Oh my
comics.
God.
That would actually be cute.
I like the idea that like you guys had a podcast and this random elf just shows up and you start talking to me like you know me and nobody knows why I'm here.
Who are
Exactly,
you? Why
like
are
we
you
just
here?
kind of like picked it up because since we're all friends and all that. But I'm like, oh, first-time listeners would have no idea who you are.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, I do the webtoon. I draw the
You
webtoon.
do.
They do. They do.
I have a pillow with one of the characters on it that lives on my couch because I love him.
Brooke, woo!
I'm
I
a
have-
Brooke stan. I love Brooke. And yes, he's lovely and wonderful, and I love him a lot. And
I
he's,
have
he's
your-
nutritious too. All right, you can put him on the stove.
I still have your
Yes.
FDO sticker on my computer.
Oh yeah, Fate Grand Order. I used to do Fate Grand Order fan art before I
Mm-hmm. Me and
Turned
Grave-
into-
Before you were isekai'd into a webtooner.
before I turned into this. Yes.
It was actually three of us. It was Grave, myself, and one more, Sava. We used to be like a
We were
trio
a
of like
trio.
Fate artists. We did little comics and stuff for Fate. And then two of them became published webtoon authors, and one of us became a VTuber.
I mean, there was a big gap of time between the becoming published web, stopping Fate Grand Order fan art and becoming the webtoon thing. We just kind of stopped doing comics and stuff for it. You know what? That was a really fun time though. Fate Grand Order, still love it, still play it, still spend way too much money on it. But you know, other life obligations have taken over. Alas, sad. Anybody else have a New Year thing that because we were talking about that a long time ago before I started the conversation?
A long time ago.
I also started going to the gym again because with the whole pandemic thing, I kind of let my gym membership expire. I didn't want to go to the same place where everybody was, you know, in close proximity, spewing bodily fluids and sweat and like sneezing and all that. And I'm just like, I don't know. So now that I've moved to my own place, we do have an in-house gym, which usually only gets about 3 or 4 people at a time. So it's a lot,
Oh, that's pretty nice.
It's not a very big gym. I mean, it's an in-house gym, so there's like
Yeah, but,
some
like-
free weights, a couple machines.
Yeah.
I know that they're in the process of setting up a second gym room in my building, because right now I have to cross the plaza to the second building to get to the gym. So once they have that set up in mine, I can get to the gym even more easily. And the goal was to improve my diet.
With constant sugary beverages and no food.
And no food.
The goal was to improve my diet.
You know what? I'm gonna talk to Mama Kai and ask her to put you back onto the smoothies.
No, please don't. Please don't.
Better than what you're doing now.
There are so many things I've done in the last 2 months that she does not need to know about.
Mama Kai, I need
Please
to
don't.
snitch.
She helped me move some stuff up yesterday and saw the popsicle molds, and I just did not answer any questions she had.
Oh
Dog.
no.
I hope you have a visceral reaction to hot dogs.
No, see, because the whole hot dog popsicle thing that you were the cause of.
My fault.
I had to buy the cheapest hot dogs. So it came in like a really large bundle of like the really cheap hot dogs. I'm still clearing out those hot dogs. I still
Nice.
have to eat hot dogs and kimchi.
Nice.
Hot dog hell. Kimchi
Let's
hell.
go.
You got
any
Wait,
more of those?
Wait, Kai, you can put them with like if you have craft dinner.
I just got a box of expired craft dinner from my parents.
One?
No, like a case, like 12 boxes that expired in 2018.
Why did?
Oh my
well,
God.
Why did you get a case of ones that expired in 2018?
Because they had it in the pantry all the way in the back and forgot
The
about
cheese
it.
powder is going to be rancid.
I don't think you should eat that. Don't.
Well,
Kai,
I mean,
Kai, it's going to be rancid. The cheese powder is going to be rancid. It has milk solids in it. That's why there's an expiry date for it.
Kai. Oh, you know what? Eat
You know
it.
what? No, you
Do
know
it
what?
on
You know what?
stream.
Yeah, you know what? Dad DM is a big fan of the let the kid play in the rose bush method of rearing a child, and so like because
And Kai is a child, so
Kai's a child. Yep, the kid plays in the rose bush, gets injured. They're not going to play in the rose bush again. So I wish you a happy food poisoning, Kai.
again, I
Hey.
just got over food poisoning. What am I doing to myself?
Round 2, fight.
let's heckin' go. So you said the plan was to improve your diet. Now
Yeah,
what?
I thought I'd be doing like a lot more like cooking and stuff. Like doing healthier recipes, this, that. Shit's expensive.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
I did not realize how much money I would have been spending furnishing the place. So I've been really cutting back on food costs lately.
Yeah, being
When
alive. Expensive.
when will that balance out? Like when do you feel that you'd be able to buy healthy food or food at all?
It's probably in a couple more paychecks, who knows?
Okay, Kai. Okay, so
April,
those,
maybe?
those here that don't know, my housewarming gift to Kai was
Yes.
a cookbook. That's a
Yes.
one pot meals thing that's like designed to be like really budget friendly meals and stuff. And Kaya hasn't used it yet.
I've
the heck?
read it. I've been reading it. Like a
Did you-
book, like a
If you make
novel.
if you make the soups, like canned veg and stuff is so much more cheap than fresh stuff.
Bro,
Mhm.
okay, I'm on the side of frozen vegetables.
Oh yeah, I love frozen veg. Yeah.
Recently, I
do
only
have a
buy
lot of
frozen.
frozen veg too. Yeah.
Yep.
Frozen's the best.
Unless it's like well, I haven't even been buying like lettuce recently because of how expensive it's gotten.
Lettuce has been really expensive.
Yes. I had this conversation with like someone in my I think it was like a parent of a student or something, and they were like, lettuce is expensive. And I was like, what? It is. But
Yup.
yeah, now that they
Yup.
mentioned
I
it,
don't eat lettuce.
yeah.
But one thing I have improved on that I was telling DM about earlier, since moving out, I've very much improved on my skincare routine,
Yes.
which is an odd priority to focus on.
I was about to
that's
say, you won't feed yourself but you'll
He's
nourish
not
your
eating
skin.
good, but well, see, skin, the health of your skin is tied directly to your diet as well. So
Exactly.
like,
Yeah,
if your
but,
skin starts getting bad, Kai, it's because you're not feeding yourself properly.
but I mean, like I've since upgraded from a dollar store like shaving razor to like a proper grooming kit, and it's like
Mhm.
Well, that's
Dang.
good. That will last. Like that's a good investment.
Yeah.
dang
Yeah.
self-care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
You wear
like
sunscreen,
tweezers
right?
and clippers and little scissors and
No,
stuff.
he doesn't use sunscreen.
Kai,
What?
sunscreen.
He doesn't.
There's
Didn't
no
we talk
sun
about
here.
this?
It's
Kai-
literally
Kai,
snowing out there.
There's no
Kai,
sun here. There's a sun in the
Kai.
sky all the time.
There's literally always exposure.
The UV
The UV damages your skin.
is so bad. Please, I think we talked about this before. Please wear sunscreen. I don't care if you feel slimy. Put it on. It'll
Mm.
help you out a lot, seriously. And you'll be so thankful to me in like 20 years when you're not like covered in cancers. You'll be like, oh, thank you, Grave, for telling me to put on sunscreen so I don't have all these cancerous growths all over my body. Because the
Yep.
sun is literally like a death ray that's in the sky at all times.
Yep.
I don't know why. I don't know why I thought Grave would be the one guest we would have that would be on my side in most arguments.
Listen,
What?
she's only looking out for you.
Yep. She's
think
on your
I-
side. The side of your health.
You think I'm anti-sunscreen? Who is anti-sunscreen?
Nemurenai Kai.
You gotta put it on, dude. Come on.
I have people who actively are like, anything that I need to apply, I don't need.
Oh my god, but it's so good. Oh, if people don't like applying things, that's cool. Just make one exception for sunscreen. That's
agree,
it.
I
Sunscreen
agree.
is
Mhm.
so important to keep on your face. Not just to keep your skin healthy, but also to keep you from, once again, not getting skin cancer, which is very, very common. It's like what? Something like freaking 50% of people who like have paler skin will get skin cancer in their life. Like, don't be part of that 50%. Seriously.
That's right. Take care of your skin. And that goes out for anyone who's listening. If you haven't worn sunscreen up until now, start
Put it
today.
on. Start wearing
Start
sunscreen.
today.
And
Dude,
if you're
I
like
put
me
it
and you have sensitive
all the
skin, just
time.
look at the Korean skincare brands and get sunscreen from them because they tend to have ones that are like a lot more mild on your skin.
Yes. Or if you're particularly paranoid, go with an Australian brand. They'll have like the highest SPFs you've ever seen. Like
Because they're like living under the freaking hole in the ozone
Yeah.
layer.
Yeah.
And they're just being vaporized at all times, so they need weapons grade sunscreen.
They are the ants under the magnifying glass.
oh
They
my god, they are.
are.
They are. I'm sorry.
Like, I don't
we're
know if you guys like remember that when the hole in the ozone layer was like a really big thing.
that I
Mhm.
forgot
Like-
about that, but yes.
Yeah, everyone was panicking about, and I know the hole is over like New Zealand and Australia, but I think it's closing up because we fixed it. I don't remember how we didn't fix it, but we reduced on the causes that were making it bigger. So that's good.
Aw.
The ozone layer, hole, and acid rain are like the two environmental things I remember from a long
Acid
time
I
ago.
remember
rain.
like reading about acid rain and thinking it was going to be a lot bigger of an issue when I was growing up, and I don't think I've ever actually experienced acid rain. And it's kind of like it falls into the category of like quicksand. Where it's like I thought this was going to be a problem.
Yeah,
Did you think
acid-
quicksand was going to be a problem?
I
I
mean,
think a
like,
lot of
based
us
off
did.
of all the stuff that like you come across in shows and
In
things.
movies, yeah, they always make quicksand to be like the #1 killer, and you're like, oh god.
How
That's
do I
like
get
the
out of
genuine
like I know how
concern.
to get out of quicksand if you wind up like if I wind up in quicksand, but I've never been in quicksand.
Just like, what opportunity do we have to fall in quicksand? Like, when would this happen?
But I will share a quick story about like where acid rain actually was a concern for a brief moment for me. I went to visit family overseas, and it started to rain, and it was in the summer, so it seemed like appropriate to just run outside in the rain, right? You would do it all the time here. So I go to step outside, and a family member was like holding me back, like, what, like, stop, no, what are you doing? And I was like, what's wrong? And they're like, don't go out in the rain. And I was like, no, it's fine, like, I do it all the time, I'm not worried about getting wet. And they're like, no, you're like, your hair's gonna fall out, it's acid
Oh,
rain.
gosh.
And I was like, oh my god, like, holy crap. But it's true, like, people were taking like active precaution just to make sure like no part of their body was being touched by this rainwater. They had like extra large umbrellas and everything, and it was like, oh, you guys don't enjoy rain.
I don't really remember like what acid rain is in particular. I think it's just when the rain comes down over like a cloud of pollution and it becomes
Pretty
very
much,
bad.
yeah. There was a case in like the 1950s in London that is attributed to acid rain, but it was actually more like acid fog. But gosh, what kind of acid was it? I think it might have been sulfuric acid, but it was dense enough that it wound up like killing a bunch of people.
Oh no.
Bro, what's going on in London, man?
It was like
London town be wild.
It was because of the coal that they were burning wasn't clean.
Oh no.
And so it got suspended in the air with the smog, and then there was a dense cloud of fog that was made, and it a bunch of people died.
Oh,
Yo, that sucks. Sorry. Shout out to London. Sorry.
Yeah. Our condolences, London.
Sorry about that, buddies.
Where I'm from, I think the major caution we have is for hail.
Yes.
Like
yeah,
a lot of
hail can be
people
bad here.
A lot of people who park outside get their like windshield smashed from hail and like their cars all dented. We've had a couple concussion cases from hail too.
Yikes. But it's true.
Yikes.
Definitely a thing.
Yeah, the city I moved to also has got tennis ball sized hail sometimes, apparently. And I was just like, oh well, when that happens, I certainly shall not be going outside, and if I am outside, I will be going inside until it's time to leave.
Like you won't hear from me today.
Yep.
I will be
goodbye.
I will
This
be
is
hanging
literally a video game attack. They're throwing ice at us.
AG. The weather very dangerous.
Final boss weather.
Many
the planet.
dangerous things.
You go out for errands, and you're just like, why do I hear boss music?
There's
You
they got all the types. They got freaking earth type boss, the earthquake. You got fire type boss with a volcano.
You got those happy bosses with like lightning storms.
You open the door and you think it's like you think it's just fog, but it's like a Dark Souls boss door. Step through the fog and it's just the weather.
The
I'm just
weather,
like,
yes.
oh, no.
Survive.
I didn't save before this fight.
Volcanoes, I feel like when I was a kid, that was the weather phenomenon I was the most scared of. Even though it's like probably the most uncommon one.
Is a volcano a weather phenomenon?
I mean, it affects the weather.
It's like a natural disaster. Let's rephrase that.
Yeah.
Yeah, volcano was the scariest one to me because it's just like a mountain that just decides to vomit on you, and it's like, okay, what do? You die, I guess.
Yeah,
We've heard of Pompeii, and
hear...
we're like, no thanks.
I think tornado was it for me.
There was that woman that she was on a tour. She has a TikTok and she like explains about stuff, but she'd gone on a tour with family members to go to an area that had like volcanoes, and it's normally the type that's just like the slow lava flows, so you can go and take pictures and like be like, ooh, nature. But even though had been a warning that had been sent out, their guide was like, no, we're going, it's fine, don't worry about it. While they were there was actually an eruption, and I believe she's the only person that wound up surviving.
Oh my god.
And she's had like major burns all over her body, and she's still recovering from it. She's been interviewed multiple times too on it, and it's just like, that's just terrifying.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Never think that would ever happen.
Yeah,
but
especially
shame
like,
on the
like,
guide.
oh yeah, we're going with like a tour guide and everything, and
the one who would know what to do.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
I remember so there's only a couple of like calderas in the world that have like the magma exposed, right?
I love calderas. They're so cool.
Yeah, there's only a few of them in the world. There's actually not as many as I thought. There's like a very short list, right?
Yeah.
And I remember I went like 10 years ago. I went and saw the one in Hawaii. There's there's one exposed caldera in Hawaii that's like you can go look at, and you have to be really far away from it. So it's like you can see this like dot on the horizon of like magma. You can see it actually, you can see it pretty well, but you're like at least a mile away from it. And apparently in the time that between I saw it and I left, the caldera like collapsed because when there's a caldera, that means there's a lot of volcanic activity around, right? There's never a caldera there that's just like big chilling. It's like when there's one there, there's a volcano like nearby ready to strike, right? So when a bunch of the volcanoes exploded in Hawaii, like 8 years ago or something, the caldera collapsed, so it's not there anymore. So we lost like another one of those open exposure calderas during that time. Point is, volcanoes are scary, and I'm not a fan. So.
Wild how we got to New Year's resolutions in a way, and then to calderas.
Man, volcanoes kind of wild.
Freaking caldera.
Yeah, don't fall in. That'd be bad.
Yup.
Oh my goodness.
I've always been more scared of tornadoes, but
because
tornadoes also suck.
Way more of a real thing that could happen in our area. Actually, I don't know about you guys, but we'll get tornadoes from time to time.
We had like one tornado in the last 10 years, and all it really did was knock over someone's chimney.
Oh, okay.
It was like a very, very small tornado.
Yeah, the lead up to a tornado is just as terrifying because like the sky turns yellow, and then you get the sky turns yellow.
Yeah.
The what?
The sky turns yellow. Have you never?
No, that didn't happen to us.
Oh well. Like I said, it's a fairly it's a few and far between, but like there have been several tornado warnings in my lifetime, and yeah, the sky turns yellow. You get massive like amounts of or sudden amounts of hail. The winds go crazy. It's super interesting. Like I don't know, somehow I'm never frightened, but maybe it's because I know that even if there was one to hit, it's not common in my area. But just like in like the neighboring towns and cities, sometimes that can happen. So
that's nutty.
It is nutty, but it's cool in a weird like my life may be in danger sort of way. I don't know, but
scary.
I think it sounds scarier than it really is. I don't know. At the time, I was jazzed.
I googled tornado because I wanted to see the sky you're talking about, and one of the first results is how to survive a fire tornado with a giant picture of a fire tornado, and I'm just like, dude, you are not surviving that. I'm sorry, it's over.
You're donezo, kid.
Yeah, we don't get those. Though that would be way worse.
Yeah,
like,
if you're like in the path of a fire tornado, then it was meant for you to die there. This is it. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I can't think of that's probably the scariest weather phenomenon now that I'm thinking about it is a fire tornado.
That's fair. That's your new there's volcanoes and fire tornadoes. Yep.
I mean, yeah, sinkholes are pretty scary.
Oh my god, yeah.
Or landslides.
Yes, sinkholes are scary. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
those ones can kind of sometimes they can show up without like any warning, really, unless you've had like professionals come through and like double check stuff, right?
Yeah. I think I can't remember if it was in my hometown or if it was like a neighboring town, but we like a couple years ago like had a sudden sinkhole like on a major road.
Yeesh.
That was we were like, oh, that's new. I don't know how the recovery is doing on that either. Like, I don't know if that's fully repaired by now. It ought to be. Like I said, it was a major road, but I actually haven't thought about that until now. And I was like, oh, that's a thing.
Bro, I'm looking at sinkholes. Like the freaking the ones that happen like that are tiny are scary, but the ones that are just like hyper massive that like swallow up like half of buildings and stuff. Now that that's like a horrifying.
Crater. That's
You know what's also terrifying? The never-ending fire pit.
What is that?
Yeah, I heard of that.
Yeah, okay, so there was for mining, they were trying to like, oh gosh, I don't remember what exactly is theorized to start it, but it's in the States, right?
Okay.
Well, there's two. I think there's one that's in like, there's one that's like pretty bad. That's literally just like a fire pit. That's in like, it's in like Iran or Iraq.
Oh, there's one in Turkmenistan.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So there is a pit that's been on fire for more than 50 years.
Oh my god. How?
And it was because a group of Soviet geologists went in search of oil fields.
Oh no.
And they began drilling when they thought they found a substantial oil field.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it was actually a pocket of natural gas that couldn't support the weight of the equipment, which it just like crumbled and took the equipment with it and caused the desert to wind up collapsing in multiple other places. And there's a crater that's 230 feet across and 65 feet deep. And it's all natural gas escaping from it.
Oh no.
And it wound up getting ignited. The one that's in north, I think, it wound up getting ignited. And it's been, they thought it was going to only burn for like the scientists lit the crater on fire.
Yeesh.
They're the ones that lit it on fire because they were like, oh, well, if we clear out all of this gas, we can start drilling for oil.
Oh no.
The burn was supposed to be for a week.
And it has
And
never
it's been
stopped in the last
burning.
50 years.
It has been burning, well, for more than 50 years now, actually. I just noticed this article's from 2014.
Oh my
And
god.
it's been going since like 1971.
Yeah, that can't be
nicknamed
healthy.
The door to hell.
You think? That can't be healthy.
Yeah, I'm thinking like they might get some acid rain down there.
probably.
At the
That
very
sucks.
least.
Oh, they done goofed up.
Oh
They
no.
goofed up bad.
Yeah, we have like one of those on a smaller scale in America,
Mhm.
in Pennsylvania. That was the other one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Centralia. It's where it's like almost the same as that. There was a coal mine below, and it became ignited underground, and it's been burning for like 40 years so far.
Yeah.
Some people still live there, by the way.
Oh my
Which is
God.
like, why? Just like move?
It'd be like
Just
living near
don't.
Chernobyl. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Just
like
stop.
I understand it probably has the cheapest land prices
That
in
is
the world.
That is
but
never
also
okay.
Just move like next door to like somewhere else in Pennsylvania. I'm sure it will be just as affordable. But yeah, that's
Mhm.
very horrifying. And you know, the earth, man, she do be burning.
She do.
She do be burning. She does
Do
do,
be
the
burning.
burn.
Lit, as they
Oh.
say.
As the kids say.
That's so lit. Smiles.
Before we move
Smile.
on then to our next topic really quick. Actually no, let's just move on. I was like, do I have anything to
But
add?
we haven't
I have-
heard about your improvements for the year.
Oh, I forgot that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, before we got into natural disaster.
Oh my gosh. I think I mean I always go into like a fit of feeling desperately like I need to be in shape in some form, in some manner. But every time I try to get serious about exercise, I always hurt myself in some way. Kai can attest to
Yes.
this.
Yes.
Aw.
But this past year, or well, getting into the new year, I started intermittent fasting.
Yo,
Oh, yeah.
I do that
Yes.
unintentionally, but yes.
Me too.
Right.
Me-
Yeah,
me
I,
too.
it
Yeah,
started
me too.
unintentionally, and then I was like, no, this is like, there's a lot of studies that show that it's great for you, because if you give it, I think the base amount of time is like 16 hours between your
Mhm.
last meal and your first meal. So, and they say like when you can give your body time to put its energies towards other things than just digestion, like it's good for your health, it's good for your metabolism, it's just good for like healing in general. So people who are like recovering from certain illnesses or certain surgeries and things like that, sometimes the recommendation is also intermittent fasting. So I've been doing that, and I mean I recently lost 10 pounds, but that was due to stress and anxiety.
Oh my god.
But I was also
Mm.
intermittent fasting at the same time, so I don't know what caused what, but I know my appetite just disappears when I'm stressed anyway.
Bruh.
But now that that's over, I'd be curious to see like if I continue intermittent fasting, like will I be able to maintain this, but like do it in a healthy way, you know?
Right.
So that's been sort of my get healthy sort of tactic. So we'll see.
Mhm.
And of course I'll start probably doing, I have a treadmill, I just never used it. Like maybe used it once. So I should probably start using it. But those are my two things. Intermittent fasting and maybe getting some walking in.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay, we can move on.
Self-improvements.
Yeah. Successful routines. So Kai, do you
Okay.
want to go next, or should we let Grave go?
Oh my god, what am I going? What am I doing?
Do you have a topic to bring up?
No.
Would you like to think of one while I go next?
Yeah, just it doesn't have to be like anything related to current events, but
like,
just a topic that you feel like talking about for a little bit.
Or like if you want to ask us a question on like, oh, what's something you like? You know?
Yeah. Except please not that vague.
Not that vague. Yeah, no, just like a little bit more detail to it, maybe.
Yeah.
And now for
you
my
can-
incredibly vague topic.
Yeah, there's just yeah, we can let Kai go first.
Yes, since we had the very rare opportunity of having a guest with us, we have GraveWeaver. I thought of a topic that
Elf
I wanted to ask related to Grave's occupation.
on a shelf.
I don't get many chances
Shoot,
To-
go ahead, buddy.
to
You got a
embarrass you in
question?
public. So,
Embarrass me? Okay,
Yes.
go for it.
Don't worry, we'll turn it back
what is something everyone has created that they were super, super proud of when they made it?
Oh.
And now looking back at it, you're like, ooh.
Oh, I've got one.
Let's go, DM.
All right. So the very first original character I made, I've told my chat this earlier in the week, so they know about this.
Ooh,
This character
joy.
that I made, my very first original character, all right,
Mhm.
was an animal because I was young. This was like preschool age when I created this creature, this concept.
Oh, that's cute.
And I liked animals
Creature.
a lot. And you know, like when you're little and you're with your siblings and you're like role playing that you're both animals and stuff. Like I created this animal character. And being in preschool, I understood that half meant that it was a part of something,
Yes.
but not necessarily, like I didn't quite understand how fractions worked.
Okay.
So I had made this creature that I was very proud of called the half thing. And it's half every creature in the world.
Half every creature in the world.
Half
So it's
every
half cat,
creature
it's half
in the
dog,
world.
it's half parrot, it's half stingray, it's half like
Oh my god.
it's the half thing. So it's like half of all the things. And I had like this was the best like character concept I had ever made. But like in reality, now that I think about it, it'd be like, wow, that would be like a terror monster, eldritch horror chimera. Is what
That
that
do
would
be a thing.
Oh my
But-
god.
like thinking back on it, because anytime that I would be playing, I'd be like, I'm the half thing, and then I'd like go through this like terrain explaining like, well, I can do this because of half this, and I can like the half thing can swim underwater, the half thing can fly, the half thing can run really fast, the half thing can like.
You just like
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's literally like a fucking suit. Can I say the F word? Oh my god.
yes,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
You already have, so it's fine.
Okay. It's like the freaking Terminator or whatever. Like you
Mhm.
can't kill it and it will always come for you.
Yep.
Half thing.
Yep, it's the half thing. Like it's just like it keeps coming back. It can regenerate limbs because it's half lizard, right?
Bruh. What can't it do?
Nothing.
That's
It
the
can do
whole
everything.
point. That was the whole point.
The whole point was like it was just this overpowered like character concept, and it was the half thing.
Do be the half thing.
Yep.
Incredible.
Yeah, that does sound kind of
Incredible.
horrifying.
Yep.
Do you have a-
Yep.
do
Now
you have a
that I think
picture?
back on it, I'm just I know like I had drawn it and it was like this cute like it looked kind of like a Pokemon monster thingy, like a Digimon Pokemon monster thing. But like now thinking about it and thinking of like what the parameters were that I had set for like what this creature is, it's absolutely would be like Cthulhu level
Eldritch horror.
eldritch horror, like multiple limbs and eyes and mouths everywhere, like
Oh my god. I love that. That is
Yeah, I
nothing to be
was
embarrassed
thinking-
about.
Of like a horror like a Bigfoot, but like like way in the background and it's really blurred. And then like there's like a found footage video and someone's like, what is that? And then like it speeds towards you and a bunch of jaws open. And
Yep. That
Oh,
would be
gosh.
the actual half thing. Like it's got tentacles too, because it's half octopus, right?
Oh, great.
Yo, new cryptid just dropped.
Yes,
my
the half thing.
Oh.
The half
The
of
half
everything.
thing.
Excuse me.
I can't think of anything embarrassing because like anything embarrassing I have, I'm just like,
You've
that
always
was-
been proud of everything.
that was cool. Yeah, I
Wait,
have my oldest original character. I mean, this is a pretty funny thing. This was the first original character I thought of since you talked about your original character when I was like in 5th grade and I had just watched Naruto. And I made this like blue cat, this furry cat who like stood on 2 legs, right?
Kadu?
It's like it was like a furry, right? It was like
Okay.
this furry cat girl who stood on 2 legs, but she was part of the Hidden Leaf Village,
Oh.
and she was also married to Naruto.
To us.
And I definitely have a
I'm
picture.
so sorry about the divorce.
Oh no.
Yeah, freaking Naruto cheated.
I can't believe. Of course he would. Of course he would.
Or what if it was Hinata?
Oh
she's got
my
a fursuit in the.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at that. And she's sad about her parents probably died. I don't know.
Oh my
This-
god.
This
Aw.
looks 100% looks like something I would have seen on Newgrounds.
Yeah, I mean, this my first OC. I still love her. I think it's epic because it's like, yeah, I made this shitty OC where it's like she's a blue cat in Naruto. Nobody acknowledges it. And when I was younger, all my characters were cats because I didn't like humans. Like when I was like 5, I was like, they look weird. They look like hairless monkeys. Weird.
Gross.
Right? That's why I started doing these like cat people. And I had a bunch of characters that were just like cats, and like in my head, they were like cats that were like cats, but like when I drew them, they were like on their 2 feet. So they were basically just humans, like they're furries, right?
Yeah.
But like I had these whole stories about it, and then I would talk to my friends. I'd be like, why does everyone bully Naruto in the show? Kakari, that was her name. Kakari would like she loves him, and everybody is so dumb for bullying Naruto. And we would argue with my friends because she was like she made a character, and her character was married to Sasuke or whatever.
Of
Oh
course.
goodness, of course.
Everyone
Yeah,
knows
and
Sasuke.
we would argue whose husband was cooler or whatever. But her character was literally just just a human ninja, right? And but she didn't acknowledge. Yeah, it was like a normal character to fit in the universe, but she didn't even acknowledge that mine was like a blue cat, right? It was just like that was also normal. It's like kids don't think about it, but
That's true.
anyway.
Of course, his character's a cat.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, I mean, it's what I made, so that's my character now. So that's my first OC. Kakari for the Hidden Leaf Village. Married to Naruto, parents dead, very sad all the time. I redrew her a couple years ago.
Oh my god, I'd love to see the redraw.
They do have the
Oh,
redraw.
please.
I do. It's just buried somewhere in this vast deviant art gallery.
Oh, good.
Let's go.
Oh, wait, I found it.
Wow, that was fast.
A few years ago. I redrew this in 2014. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
a few
I didn't
years
Oh my
do it.
god!
Aw.
Oh my god! It looks so cute.
It's so
Wow.
different.
Naruto's ex-wife.
I should do it again. It was like back when I drew this, I was like in a realism stint. Like all my drawings looked really real because I wanted to be a concept artist.
Oh yeah,
Mhm,
that was your
mhm.
Warcraft.
My Warcraft, yeah, it's not
Phase.
even a phase. This because I'm
Oh my
still into it. I just
Yeah.
don't draw like that anymore.
Yeah.
But like if I drew this again, like it would go back to like the first one, but good. Like I'm back to full anime.
Please, between now and whenever this episode releases, if you could just do a redraw so we could post it. So we can have a side by side.
I'll try it. I'll try to redraw this. It'll be like, oh my god, the 2014 one is kind of good. I don't know
It
if I
is
can
really
good.
like
It
it.
is.
that one.
It is
Mhm.
really good.
But
That
it's
is incredible.
I have more style now. I have more panache in my art. I don't
love
know if
that
I've
word.
gotten technically better. Panache, yeah.
You got more pizzazz.
More ganache.
You got
It's just
some
like
chocolate
Like it's
pizzazz.
just melting out of it.
I
Yeah.
can wholeheartedly say I've not seen a better picture of Naruto's ex-wife.
Thank you. Yes, Naruto's
Ah.
ex-wife. He never talks about, and he also keeps it
It
under
was a
the
traumatic
radar.
breakup when
Yeah.
he cheated on her. You know, he just doesn't acknowledge it anymore. He's like people that apologize on the internet for doing terrible things.
Yeah, and in this canon,
Uh-huh.
Naruto's also a furry. So
Of course.
if he married, my cat girl,
Of course.
which is probably the best timeline. So, also, you know what I loved about Naruto? Like when it was over, right? Like right when it ended,
it was not Naruto anymore.
when it ended, they were like, "It's time for teen pregnancy," and they all got laid instantly.
Oh
because,
my god!
Because in the sequel, all the characters' kids are like the same age, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
they're all like
that's part of their ninja way. Okay.
Yeah, and they all got laid right when Naruto ended. Like, while Naruto was going, no, abstinence only. We are not banging, right? But right when it was over, they're like, let's get to it. And they instantly have like 1 million babies. And it's like, and this is like there's no one hornier than a shonen protagonist right when his series ends, because he has to produce that sequel kid right now, immediately.
Gotta make
Just
burritos.
comes home, we need to have an heir.
Yeah, they have to, because he can't be too old in the sequel, right? He can't be above like 35 years old, or that'll be uncool. So
Yeah, you can't have like older parents.
yeah, so they have to all be teen moms.
oh my god,
Which is just what I think about it. It's just so funny.
I've never thought about that, but you are 1000% correct. And now I'm
That
upset.
is-
So funny.
Oh my goodness.
No, you do know the saying, the saying in Japan.
Oh yeah, Christmas cake.
Christmas
Women
cake.
are-
Oh,
women are like
yeah.
Christmas cakes after the 25th. They're worthless.
Yeah, so that's
Jeez.
why you gotta have the baby at like 19. Oh my
Exactly.
god.
Oh god.
I watched. Oh my god. I don't know if I hope we can talk about this, but I watched like not Shonen, Shaman King.
Shaman King! Shaman
I-
King!
Yeah, I tried to watch Shaman King again recently because they have like that reboot.
Yes.
And there's so many weird things in there I didn't notice when I was a kid. But like I
Oh.
think the weirdest thing was like the main guy, what was his name? Like
Yo.
Yo.
yeah, his fiance.
Anna?
And they're like
Yeah,
he has
his
a
fiancé, Anna.
fiance. Yeah,
Mhm.
and they're like
They're like 10.
10.
They are
right?
very, very young, yes.
And in the show, she gets pregnant and she has a kid.
Yeah.
And she's like she's like 14
Yeah.
when she has her kid, right?
yeah.
And then it's funny when it's over, it shows them at 22 and it shows them as like how you would show like an 80-year-old who's been through their entire life. It's like them as like shadows, and it's like they went on to like become great shaman, blah blah blah. But it's like they're 22.
They're 20s. They're
Yeah.
early
Yeah, their life
20s.
has just
that one
begun.
image- It's like that one image of like from that one Mega Man game where it's like that NPC who's like using a cane, has like no hair, and is like just a raisin, and he's just like, I'm 30 years old.
That's exactly it. It's like they die at 30. Anime characters die at 30. They're just in a
Yep.
rush to get their life out of the way before they fucking perish.
Yep.
Which is just so sad. Which is, I don't know. Anyway, I
Or
just
they
remember watching.
expire.
Yeah, I watched it and I was like, we really are doing the teen pregnancy thing in this show, aren't we? Very,
Yeah.
very, and we're doing teen mom on Shaman King.
I guarantee you, no one was thinking that. They
Yeah,
did
they
not
weren't.
put two and two together. Like,
Well,
Like-
the other thing is when you start looking at stuff, because like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I love Gurren Lagann. It's such like a great anime and stuff, and then you're like, Yoko was 14.
She's 14. I think they did retcon that because people were
They
like,
did
she's
retcon that. Like they were
14.
just like, oh, here's a time skip, and now she's like older. I was like, okay, it's like she was at the start of it. She 14.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's
That's
like,
still-
it's like any anime character, look at what they look like and then like subtract like 10. Subtract 10 years, and that's their actual age,
Yep.
you're right.
which is great. So
Yep.
we love anime.
Oh, we love
We
anime.
love anime.
I love anime, unironically. Freaking crazy ass shows. Anyway,
Right. You're right. Some of the times you're going, you're just like, wow, this is, you know what? I like this one a lot. Actually, there's one that I want to watch. I don't remember the name of it, but the characters in it, like the main girl winds up putting this like really powerful elf fae lord guy under like a command spell.
yeah.
And she's just like very shy, but anytime there's like a fight or anything, he's like, order me to kill them. It's just like-
Oh,
Oh gosh.
and she's like, I don't want to give you orders. I don't believe in like doing like slavery stuff. He's like, order me to kill them. Is this an order?
No,
like her
stand down.
Chihuahua, but like
Right?
horrifyingly scary.
Ah.
Oh, that's good.
Nice. Anyway, cringe.
Cringe.
Harune?
Cringy creations.
So unlike the rest of you three, I am not an artist. I was not blessed with any sort of visual art skills. However, I loved to write. So there may or may not have been, I will neither confirm nor deny, I will plead the fifth, but there may or may not have been one or two definitely not fan fiction. No.
No, let's not be silly here.
Original stories that may or may not have been fairly Mary Sue-ish or self-inserts in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Voltron.
No,
Be
that's
proud.
not that one.
Be proud of your self-insert fan fiction. We love it.
I think you have to start somewhere, and your creativity, I think, blossoms from that point. Like if you can, it's an interesting exercise to go, okay, well, if I was in this situation, like what would I do / what would I want to do? And then you can finesse that as you mature and you get better at the craft, and then all of a sudden you're creating real characters with like true strengths and weaknesses, and it's not just but I think you have to start from like that cringe point. And it's the same
There's
with,
a lot of like popular stuff that is still self-insert,
which I think is
fanfic.
wild.
Yeah, what was it?
Faust.
It was
Faust. Anybody? Faust. Bible
Wasn't-
fanfic self-insert. Faust.
Wait,
wasn't
Bible?
50 Shades of Grey.
Dante's
wasn't 50 Shades
Inferno?
of Grey-
Self-insert
Not Faust.
fanfic?
Dante. I can't
Dante?
brain today. Dante's Inferno. I was thinking like Shaman King still, and Faust
yeah,
is my favorite
Faust.
guy in that.
He is cool. I love Faust.
Love him.
Yeah,
He also
Dante's
has-
Inferno.
Dante's Inferno. That's the
Dante's
one.
Inferno
Pure
is a
self-insert.
wow.
Wasn't 50 Shades of Grey a Twilight fanfic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bitch, 50 Shades of Grey was a guy x guy Twilight fanfic.
It was?
Yes.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wait, a
Why
guy
did they
X
Two
guy?
dudes.
Why'd
It
they
was
change it?
two dudes. Yeah.
For more marketability, I guess, to the wine moms, they changed it.
Wine Moms!
It
The
was
worst demographic.
between, let's see. It was originally called The Master of the Universe.
Oh, what?
He-Man! Oh my god, it's He-Man.
Yeah,
Whoa.
and it was, gosh, what was it?
Was it Edward
it
and
was
Jacob?
it was I can't remember who it was. It was
Joe, Bob, Joseph, Johnny.
I'm trying to remember which one, like
Edward Cullen.
because I think it got changed on who it was on stuff, but yeah. It got the author wound up like retconning fixing stuff in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like,
Interesting.
after
Well-
the first publish? Or
Yes.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, now it was really popular a while ago. It's not
It was.
recent
Yeah.
developments.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of other very popular the entire isekai genre of anime. That's all self-insert stuff. Very popular. Self-inserts can be well.
Mhm.
There
With-
is a market for it.
Well, here's the thing. Like with writing and stuff, everything in your story is something that's
Mhm.
self-insert. Everything's self-insert because you can only write from your own experience. But it's like, how indulgent do you make it? How obvious do you make it that it's a self-insert? That's the
Mhm.
yes.
Yes.
So we talked about cringy stuff. What's
Yay!
next? Yay!
We did it.
Oh,
All
wait.
right, so it's kind
Wait,
of
have we
topic time, right?
Kai
Have we
did
gone?
it.
Well, no, my topic was cringe. Wait, have we gone through everyone's cringe? We've gone through the.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had.
Kai, you didn't
Cause
talk
I
about
don't-
your cringe, did you?
Wait, Kai's cringe. We didn't talk about Kai.
No, we didn't. I was like, why do I feel like something's missing? Oh, right, I didn't say anything yet.
It's okay, Kai. You don't need to. You're already cringe.
Oh
Thanks.
no!
My
Damn.
Got him.
I had recently been moving a lot of stuff from one place to another, and that includes getting new furniture. I've been decorating a place, so it's kind of like I'm getting a better sense of like home furnishing and like, oh, what looks good with what matches what, like coordinating furniture. And my dad suddenly came up to me and was like, oh, would you like to take this back and bring it over with you? And it was a piece I had made in woodworking, a workshop, when I was in grade school. This was
in grade school?
We had like 1 month where gym classes were replaced with woodworking for whatever reason.
That's actually kind of awesome.
So we had 4 weeks to work on this, and I had made a little box, like with a sliding cover and all that, like just a storage box. And I had completely forgotten I made it and then gave it to my dad. But I was so proud of it at the time. And then I saw it again and I'm like, oh.
Aww.
It's just a box.
The box is structurally well built. Like I followed all the instructions. It was all the wood pieces were cut to the right shape. It slides together perfectly. It doesn't, like it's not all wonky looking. But then we were told to decorate the boxes.
Oh no.
It is the most vibrant fire truck red you can think of.
I love that. What's wrong?
I love that color.
And then I had gone to the school library to print out full sheet pictures of like anime imagery and then cut it out as a stencil with a pair of safety scissors and then like used it as a stencil to like paint like all these anime decals all over the box.
So you have anime girl decals on your...
Those are super wonky. Those are like all over the place. So it's just like this really like, oh my god, it's like super bright red box with like really smudged up black anime decals all over it, like logos and stuff.
Incredible.
And I just like completely wiped that out of my mind until he like pulled it out of the recesses of our basement.
Where you can remember it all over again.
I was like, oh my goodness. Actually, speaking of Fate Grand Order, it has like the original Fate Stay Night's logo.
Oh my god.
That's so cool though. I liked Fate Stay Night at the time.
Epic boomer content.
It had Fate Stay Night on the lid, and then I think it had like all the Pokemon, like Pokemon trading card symbols, like the elements, like the water drop, the tree, the fire. I think I had those around the edges or something like that. I can't remember exactly what I put on now, but it's just like all these different anime logos like smashed onto this bright red box.
I've seen that as bumper stickers on people's cars today, so you have nothing to be ashamed of.
I think it's cool. You made a time capsule of your interests from woodworking class.
Yeah.
Except you used it just to store like used batteries. So I've just got like a box full of like empty batteries. I'm like, what do I do with this?
Throw those away.
I should probably dispose of these properly. Exactly. I'm like, why'd you keep these batteries for years?
Thought you needed them.
Yeah, you might need these used batteries at some point in time in the future. You never know.
You never know.
When you need to melt down a bunch of, oh my god, if you melted those, that'd be toxic and you'd die. Never mind.
Yeah,
get rid of them.
Don't melt them.
Yeah, get rid of them. Get rid of them. Yeah.
Cursed.
Well, that actually sounded cute and not cringe.
Nice.
Yeah, we love your clock.
It might be cute to you, but I'm cringing so hard.
Remember the times when you were just a little tyke and your brain didn't work quite right, so you did a lot of strange stuff, but then you see what you did now, and
before self-awareness set in.
That's like
when everything I had was vibrant.
That's like you and alpha, right? That's your alpha form, and then your beta form, and then it stopped there.
And then it stopped there, and that was it.
Yeah, because you're a beta. That was the joke.
Ha.
Or is it?
Thank you.
Is it?
Oh.
I actually don't know
Hey,
what comes
okay.
after beta. So Omega?
No.
Do games reach like Omega testing?
No.
What's after beta?
If you're talking about testing specifically, it ends
Yeah.
at beta. After beta is full release.
Oh.
Oh, well, this is the Kai that we got fully released.
Thanks.
Okay, so it does. The live version. Let's go.
Yeah, this is the live version of Kai as opposed to the dead one.
We accept.
I'm glad we
Except,
all
yeah.
turned out human because, like, I mean, until you're like,
Yeah, I was aiming for half thing.
Half thing. She was aiming for the half thing.
for
Was.
like a lot of your life when you're like a teenager, you are just like this creature of cringe. Like,
Yes,
true.
I still am.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's and like I didn't stop being cringe till I was like, oh my god, till I was like 23, I think. is
Wait,
when-
you get to stop being cringe?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, like you stop being like
Kai,
Omega
you keep
cringe.
jumping into the pool.
Yeah, like you stop being Omega cringe and you start just doing kind of like mistakes, I guess. It stops going from like you wear the freaking Naruto cosplay to school and you ask out your
You learn how
someone
to
to
suppress
prom.
your power level in public.
Yeah, like well, you know the right places to express your power
Yeah.
level. Whereas like, you know, and at an anime convention wearing, you know, a Naruto, I used to cosplay to school all the time. And I actually
used to
don't
wear the
think that was
headband
very
too.
cringe. I thought it was fun. But
Yeah, I did.
There
I
are-
did too.
cringy things where I would make like a cringy joke to someone and they'd be like, that's not funny. And I'd be like, oh, core
Oh.
memory unlocked.
Oh,
The
Yeah.
cringe has been activated. But then like I
Yeah.
kind of stopped doing that when I hit, you know, like 23. And I was like, oh, I'm normal now. That's cool.
I'm good. I'm done.
There's almost
think-
like a rite
yeah.
of passage once you reach a certain age. You're like, I've made it this far in my life. I've inherited the right to like no longer be considered full cringe.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
I
there
also
are
think
still
it's,
some people
like-
who are cringe, even far into their adulthood. But
Yeah, well, I think it's how you deal with it because you'll still do
Yes.
cringe stuff at all points in your life, but it's like,
Yes.
do you just sit there and stew in it, or do you go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to like do the thing"? Right? If you do that, then immediately cringe defeated. You know, it's
Yes.
done.
cringe defeated.
Right? But if you just are silent or like you don't acknowledge it, then it'll stay with you forever. So it's just at what point can you be like, "Oh, I did something weird. Sorry about that. I won't do it again," and then it's
taking
Done.
responsibility is the mega Chad thing to do.
yeah, it's Chad behavior.
Yes.
Embrace your inner Chad. Take responsibility for any cringe things.
That's right. You gotta
Just-
own it. And that immediately
Yeah.
kills the cringe.
Yes. Do not kill the cringe. Kill that which cringes.
Kill that which makes you cringe.
Yes. That's my life advice.
Somehow I heard all that and I felt like you guys were talking about me. I'm like, wait,
no,
what?
I was thinking about myself. Like
Same,
in the past.
big
No,
same.
yeah, because
big
I've
same.
done like I used to wear cosplay to school when it wasn't. I probably shouldn't have.
Mama Renee would
That's-
actively tell me I looked stupid, and I'd be like, "I'm going to school now. Bye."
That's one thing I
Yeah.
can never do. Like I still can't wear like anime print shirts. Like I can't bring myself to do it. I've never done that. I don't own a single anime print shirt.
Oh.
Mm.
I mean, I went all in embracing all of that. So
I do own multiple T-shirts of just my coworker's face plastered all over it
why?
because oh, okay, it's a whole long story. I've actually told my chat before this, but so our company had a big kind of client-facing conference at one point
Mhm.
where all the sales department, all the management, all of this, all of that, they would just leave work for like a week to fly out to wherever and like have a big
Mhm.
party. And they're always like, it's basically just a big social gathering with like important clients, and then they like do the whole party thing.
Mm.
And so all the developers and all the testers were stuck at home, like holding down the fort. So one of my ex-coworkers, one of my friends who's since moved on to a different company, who actually does sometimes come to my Twitch streams, Clive,
Yeah.
he decided to host his own party in the same vein as the one that our company does. So our company's our company's party is called like Blank Con, like the name of the company. I'm not going to dox where I work, but it's like
Mhm.
Blank Con. So he just made a party called Clive Con,
Nice.
And he got like pictures of his own face printed on t-shirts and like badges and everything. And he would like invite people from like HR as guest speakers and all these like really dumb. We all just went to his like flat, and then like it was just like chip snacks and like video games.
I like that.
Clive sounds like kind of a king. We love Clive.
He did that, and then the sales team, the CEO, they all came back from BlankCon, and the CEO found out about this when somebody accidentally left their CliveCon badge on the cafeteria like desk. Or the lunchroom desk, I should say. Which it was basically the badge they actually had for BlankCon. They just like photoshopped Clive's face onto it and then like renamed it CliveCon. And he was called into like the CEO's office. It's like, what is this? And it's like, don't worry about it. CEO's like, why wasn't I invited? And we're like, we will do that next year.
This is why you shouldn't go out to your other party. You should stay for hours.
So the next year, he went and hosted CliveCon 2.
Oh my god,
CliveCon 2.
And he made a whole like what's the word for it? It was like really formal printed invitation in an envelope.
Incredible.
And then put it on the CEO's desk. And was like, hey, I know you're supposed to go to this big client party this week, but you want to go drink beer at Clive's place? Naturally, the CEO said that he couldn't go. He had other obligations to attend to.
Yeah.
But at least he felt better about being invited, I'm sure.
Yeah. But then an anonymously donated like case of beer showed up to the party.
Aww.
The CEO like just wrote off a big bit of beer for
that's cute.
The whole thing. So I think Clive gave him a T-shirt of his
as a thank you gift.
I still have those T-shirts. It's great.
But you know what? That's such a nice memory associated with it. Like that's well worth having several shirts with his face on it.
Yeah, I would wear that in public, but I wouldn't wear like a Naruto.
Because there's a story behind it. You can't just be like, I like this anime.
I don't know.
Wear the Naruto shirt, coward.
I don't own one. I don't own any anime prints. I can't bring myself to buy any.
That's
but I would go
have.
out in public with just Clive's face printed on my shirt like 16 times.
Okay, I see. Well, you like to hide your power levels. Listen, as long as you're just... If you ever come to wear an anime shirt, just know it is fine. It is socially acceptable to do so.
Nowadays it is. I don't have one. I don't own one. I don't think I like, because I'm always scared that like I like something a lot, so I'm gonna buy something of it, and then once I stop liking it, I'm gonna like it's gonna be wasted. If you know what I mean?
Oh, you just keep wearing it. Just keep wearing it. You know? Do it. Wear it to bed.
Wear it to bed.
True.
Yeah.
It can become your new pajamas.
Yeah, you need lots of pajamas. You sleep every day.
I do. I do a little.
Hopefully.
Not a lot, but I do.
Because if you don't sleep every day, then you will be
Dead.
very dead inside. Yes.
Perish.
No perish. Only live. Survive.
Yes.
And we're encouraging Kai today.
Yes.
Today
Truly
is
a
Look Out for
heartwarming
Kai
episode.
Day.
Survive.
Survive.
Or else.
So in the meantime, Grave, have you considered a topic?
I mean, I guess to be fair, we did talk a lot about natural disasters.
Yeah. What?
So if you're really feeling out of place,
No, I can think of something.
Okay.
I
All
can
right.
think of
I don't want
something
you to feel
talk about.
pressured.
No, don't worry. Pressure is what I live under. But
I suppose
That
that's
is true.
with all of your deadlines you have to make so often.
yeah, well, what I've been doing recently that has been like, I had no idea this would be so hard to do is like, you know, like I have I'm the Grim Reaper is being turned into a book, right? Like a physical
Yes.
book to put on bookshelves.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you.
Clap, 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 clap.
so long, so long. You know what? I like doing all my like art stuff. What I don't like is legal things. Legal things are like so much time.
Yes.
So I'm glad we got all the legal stuff out of the way because it took so long to do. And I'm glad I have good lawyers and agents who always help me out.
Yay.
But so what I did not predict was going to be so much of an issue while I'm working on this book. There's a lot of things that are very challenging. But the thing that's been the hardest has been making a cover for this book. Like I have been working on this cover for like 4 months. And it's like, and when I say I'm working on the cover, it's like I haven't even gotten to making the cover because we're just talking about concepts and like, and so it's being published with Viz, and at Viz I have an editor. And whenever I like have a question or something, I'll talk to the editor, and editor will give me her very sagely advice about, everything that I'm asking about. And so we have a lot of talk about the cover because when you're making a book, the cover is the most important part. And not only is it the most important part like on the shelf, it is the most important part forever because everyone's going to look at volume 1 of your book to like see if they want to continue to volume 2, 3, 4, etc. So it's like the pressure is insane to make a good cover. And I have made, I think I've done like 25, I've made like 20 like tiny drafts, and I've made like 7 like completed drafts where it's like basically a picture that's ready to present. It's just if I refined it a little more, it would be done. So I've spent probably like 50 hours cumulatively like trying to figure out where to go with this cover, and I send it to the editor, and the editor will give me tons of feedback, which is great. Okay. I love getting tons of feedback. I ask specifically, please nitpick this to death because I need to know where to go forward, right? They'll send it to me and I'll go back to the drawing board, and then I give it to them and I go back to the drawing board and I do it again. I go back to the drawing board. And it's just, oh my God, the pressure is insane. And I'm gonna crack. I don't remember when the deadline for the cover is. It's not soon, but it's like, I'm like, I have never thought of like, because you have to think of so many things when you're doing it. You're like, you have to think where the logo is placed, right? Where the company like Viz's logo will also be placed. So you have to like build a composition around those two things and the volume number. You have to think of the spine. Like, how is the spine going to work in relation? Is this a set volume? Or are you going to do like spine art, right? That continues from the first volume to the last volume, which we can't do that because my comic's still ongoing. We don't know how long it's going to be. So we threw that off the table. But we were like, okay, do we want all the spines to look similar? Do we want them to have the same symbology? Do we want them to have some kind of like through line that like connects them all together? Because she was like, the spine is even more important than the cover.
Oh, because on bookshelves you'll see the
Because
spine.
on the bookshelves, what it would look like,
Yeah, everyone's going to see the spine on the bookshelf before they pull it out, right? So she was like, this is even more important than the cover, so we have to make sure this is cool. And I haven't even started on what I'm gonna do for the spine. I have no clue, right?
Yeah, I can't help but think though that like, I don't know why, but when you started talking about the cover and then the spine, I keep thinking about like volume 1 of FMA.
FMA is it's a good one. But FMA also, it stands on its own as such like a epic manga that like the cover itself kind of retroactively seems a lot cooler than it is. Like,
I suppose that's true, because I was gonna say, I'm sure like if you were to send like a similar composition to like the FMA manga cover volume 1 to your editor, I'm sure there'd be tons of things that they could say about it as well. And I just don't know if there really is such thing as like the perfectly encompassing everything sort of cover. But I don't know. Is that, I mean, do you approach that differently than, although I suppose you explained it already where it was like retroactively, like people find it cool because they know what it is.
Yeah, so the FMA volume 1 cover is, if we're looking at it like completely objectively, it could be a lot better because it does, like when you see it, you see, Ed is like he's pulling on his glove, right? And Al's behind him, right?
Yes.
But beyond that, it doesn't tell a lot about what's going on in the story. Like we see the suit of armor guy, right? And we know, okay, he's going to be a part of it, but
He
a
is
lot
the
of, like-
Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, a lot of like what we're going for with my cover is the thing that I've been like told to over and over is we need it to look more like an action manga because it is an action manga, right? Well, it's action is like secondary. It's more like a psychological thing. But they're like the action. You need to have way more action, way more movement, and way more blood in this cover.
Wow.
Because we want it to look. Not only do we want it to look like, very. Another thing that I didn't even think about that they stress a lot is not only do we want it to look good as like a cover and good as a representation of your comic, but we also want it to look like it fits among all the other covers of manga on the shelf.
That's I feel like that would be quite an ask when everyone's got different styles, everyone's got different asks, everyone's got this and that,
Well, that's the thing too, because they told me what manga my comic's going to be sitting next to, like when they get to sort it, right? So they're like, okay, we need you to look at these covers that are like they asked me, they were like, okay, where do you think your comic's going to sit on the shelves? And I was like, oh, Bleach, Tokyo Ghoul, that kind of stuff. And like, okay, we'll probably put you there. That's what we were thinking too. And I was like, oh, okay. And they're like, so you're going to want to look at the comics that are around you because everybody's going to be using those comics around you to base their opinion of your comic just based on what you're sitting around, right? So they show me like they do a lot of showing me the covers of the stuff in the same genre as me, and they're like, make it look like it like fits into like this, right? This like aesthetic. Because the people who are going to pick up your manga and read it are going to be like, oh, this looks like Chainsaw Man. This looks like Bleach. This looks like Tokyo Ghoul, right? Maybe I'll check it out. So it's a lot of like making sure it fits amongst all those things too, which is I'd say less important than making sure it fits on its own.
Right.
But it's like there's just so much to think about. And it's like this is like the hardest thing I've ever drawn in my life is this cover for this book, and we're not even to the part where I'm actually drawing it. We're just at the part where I'm coming up with ideas. So anyway.
It seems so overwhelming because there are so many things, there are so many do's. And of course, with any list of do's comes a list of don'ts. And like you said, it's even before you put any ink on paper. Like how can you conceptualize something that like checks all the boxes,
Yeah, and I will say they are my editor, the people I work with at Viz, they're all very nice. They're all like if I have something that's a bad idea and I show it to them, they tell me it's a bad idea in like the nicest way possible.
They're true
like,
friends. They're like,
yeah, this is drawn super well, and I love what you were going for with this, but I was thinking we could go for something more along blah 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 these lines, like something completely different. And then I'm like, oh, okay, they don't like that. I get the idea, and I just throw it off the table, right?
Do they ever explain why they reject a certain idea?
They've never rejected anything. They only imply stuff, right? So.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever hard rejected anything. But they're very much like I can understand what they want from like what they're like saying. They're like, oh, this makes me think of something that isn't about your comic, even though it's well drawn. I'm like, okay, not that one. Definitely not that one for sure then.
Okay.
And then they'll go to another one and be like, this is really great, but we don't have like a good place to put the logo on here. And I'm like, okay, this one is also a no,
Okay.
So they're like, they explain why each thing doesn't work.
Okay, no, that's good.
But they're very nice. Like they're like, I have no idea if, well, probably not. Like I'd assume that like the manga industry in Japan is very different from this, even though it is the same process that the manga started going through. They gave me like assets to work on, and they're all in Japanese.
Oh boy.
Like the page layouts and stuff, they're in Japanese. Because they only have, I think, me and 2 other people are under their banner that speak English, I think. And everything else is like, all the bajillions of manga from Japan, right? So I'd assume the process is at least a little similar, but they're very nice, but they are very like strict about when like things need to get done, and we're gonna have it done, and they have everything planned out like 4 years in advance. Like have everything like, we're going to get this done here and here and here and here. They have been through it. They know what they're doing. And so it's just my job to finish my work and get it to them by when they need it.
Just a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. Like the second we finished the contract, they already had like the launch date for my comic, which is like in 2024.
Wow, so exciting.
Yeah, so they're very, very good. But yeah, it's like, oh my God, working on the book is like so much. And when I am just talking about the cover, I have not even gotten into the stuff in the book, which is like a whole nother thing, because you have to reformat the comic entirely. And then they have this thing where they're like, oh yeah, your comic needs to be this amount of pages or this amount of pages or this amount of pages. It's like, I don't remember the numbers, but it's like 148 or 162 or 190 something, right? They're like, it has to be this long because the way we do it is like we print it all on a giant page and we fold it all up, right? And then we staple it together. So you have to have your comic this many pages. And so we're going to have to draw fillers for like the amount of pages that we don't have, right? And I'm like, I would have never thought of that, right? Because on digital, you just end it where you want to end it and it's done. But like in a physical book, it's like you have to hit those page markers. And and if you can't hit it, then you need to draw like extra cover art and stuff. You have to draw another, like a 4 coma to fill it up.
Interesting.
And then before they staple it and close it and print it, which is like something I once again would have never thought of. And it's just so much. And they do the things, they're like, oh yeah, and whenever you turn a chapter, the chapter has to hit on like the left hand side. It always has to hit on the left hand side because people like turning pages.
Wow. That is something I've thought about too. Like, I don't know, like I never really thought of like putting out a book or anything, but it's like, I don't know why it came to my mind. It was just like, how do they have to like keep count of how many pages they're doing exactly? Because like when you read like a Shonen Jump magazine or something, like you'll never like awkwardly have half a page that's one thing and half a page that's another.
Yeah, no, they have a specific page layout for it that is like you have this many pages and this is how many spreads that you need to have.
Yeah, they're very strict. It's like they need the chapters to start on a certain page, and so you have to add in or reduce panels. So it turns out that way. So I'll have to add in like one of the things I've been working on recently is drawing like in like chapter cover art. So that's basically when you turn a page, something that's in comics that isn't in like webtoons and stuff is they have like a splash page that like the comic either starts or ends on. And they always want it on, I think for most of mine, it's on the right hand side of the page. So it ends. Like you have the book open and it ends. And then when you turn the page, it's a new chapter, right? They're like, they really stress that this experience is really integral to reading a book. So it always has to be like that, right? Like you have to feel a sense of finality before you turn the page and you start on something new. And so a lot of what we've been working with is reformatting it so that we have a reformatter. I recommended one of my friends to reformat the comic, and she got contracted by Viz to reformat our comic. Yeah. And so I always talk to her when we're like, we have meetings and we go through the comic and we see how it's formatted, right? And then they always ask me, oh, do you like this? Like, what can we do here? And I have to go in and I have to be like, okay, I hate how I drew this. So let's just rip this panel out and then I'll draw something new here. And the current draft of the book is like a lot of like empty space because I have to go in and redraw new stuff to fit for the page layout, because some stuff also looks like crap when you take it from the webtoon and try to put it on a book. It looks awful because the panel is like always a rectangle.
Yes.
On the webtoon.
Like some of them have like the really long scroll ones, which feels really cool when you're reading it, like scrolling down because it's webtoon. But then if it's in a book, it's like you're not scrolling. Yeah,
the scrolls are usually with the scrolls, we turn it into a full spread, like a right hand and a left hand page. We flip it and then I have to redraw it. So it works like that, right?
Yeah.
But like with a lot of them, like if I have like tiny panels and it just doesn't fit, right? So we just have to redraw it. It's just like no matter what we do, this is not going to look good. So you're just going to have to redraw this bit. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'll do it. You're paying me to do it anyway. And it's just so much like reformatting and putting in panels so that the pages go here, here, here. And then you also need bonus content. This is why I can't share any stuff I've been doing for the book at all, because it all has to be book exclusive content. Because
I was going to say, you realize you're on a podcast right now, right?
No, I can't share the pictures, right?
Okay.
there's stuff I can't talk about, which obviously I haven't talked about. But I've asked them, can I talk about the general process? Because I've been talking about it on my Patreon. And they're like, oh yeah, you can talk about general stuff. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, okay, sure. So like the process it's very, very, very involved and very specific. They like know what they're doing. They know exactly how everything goes with the books. And they're just like, okay, you do it. You like, we're going to go over it. We're going to tell you how this goes and you're going to do it that way. And I'm like, okay. They're also making me a new logo, which is something interesting.
When you say they're making you a new logo, does that means you're not the one who's designing and drawing it, right?
No, they're making a new logo for the Grim Reaper. And I was like, oh, okay. They're like, I can't remember why they have to do it. I think maybe they were just like, your logo sucks. We're going to make a new one. That's in my head. I'm like, maybe my logo isn't very good, which probably, honestly, they design new logos for all their stuff, though, because it's like, I guess.
Maybe it's supposed to be like a fresh start sort of thing. It's like, you've seen it on Webtoons, but check out this sort of freshly revamped, physical copy form.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see it. I haven't seen it yet. But it's like, they got everything. They know everything they're doing from start to finish, and I am just there for the ride, being tugged along, which is great. I really enjoy it, and it's very different than Webtoon, which has a way more like hands-off approach, where they just kind of let you do whatever you want and you just do it, and hopefully it works. So, yeah, book. There you go. I talked about something.
Well, there we go. Nice. That was actually really insightful, and I'm sure there are a lot of
super cool.
Yeah, a lot of people out there want to know a little bit more about the industry. So,
yeah, it is expanding into the English speaking space, which is very exciing.
Yeah,
I've been so excited that I'm finally being able to find like the translated novels of a lot of the series that like I read the webtoon and I was like, oh, I wish I could read the manga, the novel for it.
Yeah, like actually when Viz first approached me, I thought I completely misunderstood them because they came up to me at New York Comic Con and they had told me, oh, we want to make I'm the Grim Reaper into like a Viz original, which means put it into print. But I completely misunderstood them because I was like, there's no fucking way they want to put my webtoon into print. Like there's just no way, right? So I thought they were starting their own webtoon platform, like digitally, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And so when they asked me, we really want to like, make it a Viz original. That's what they said specifically. I was like, oh, I already have a contract with Webtoon. And they're like, oh no, it'll be different. And I was like, I'm sorry, no, I can only print with Webtoon. Like in my head, I'm like, they only want it digitally. There's no way they want to put it on paper. That'd be such a waste of trees.
Oh,
like,
no.
Why would they? And I was also like, and they don't take American-made English stuff ever, right? So I was like, this is just not on the table. So I just completely misunderstood them. And I basically turned them down at the table. And they walked away, right? Yeah, I turned them down and I was like, yeah, it sucks, but I already have this contract with Webtoon, but I hope I was like, but I hope their online platform they're going for goes well, and then it wasn't until like way later when I was like, I can't remember what I was doing, but I was thinking of just making a short run print of it. And one of my friends told me, oh no, you should get it printed officially, right? And then I was like, oh, nobody's going to want to print it though. And they're like, no, someone will want to print it. I was like, no, nobody's going to want to print it. It's just a stupid comic. Like nobody's going to want to spend money to put it on paper. And they're like, I'm going to refer you to my agent. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll talk to your agent. And then I talked to my agent, and the agent was like, oh my God, Viz talked to me about you.
Literally was like,
yeah, the agent was like, Viz had talked to me about you. And I was like,
oh no.
I was like, oh really? And I was like, oh yeah, but I turned them down. And they're like, no, but you want to get it printed, right? I was like, oh, but they wanted it for like a digital thing. They were like, no, they wanted it for like to put it on the shelf, like as a manga. And I was like, but how are they going to do that? It's a webtoon. And they're like, they'll reformat it. And I was like, but that costs a lot of money. Why would they do that? And they're like, just talk to them. And I was like, okay. And then we talked to them and they were like, yeah, we were really interested. And they're like, did you change your mind? I was like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, because I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I just completely misunderstood. It's just, there was just no universe where I was like, this is going to be on a shelf next to like Bleach or something. Like not even in the same dimension is that ever going to happen. So I didn't even consider it. And then when it turns out, oh, that's what they actually meant, I was like, oh my God. Okay, you're crazy, but let's go. And so that's how it all started. But it was so funny how they came up and I just so casually was like, oh no, I can't do that.
Nah, just
Yeah, and they're like-
opportunity presented on a golden platter. You're like, but no, I'm good. Nah.
Yeah, and they were like, really? And I was like, oh yeah, I just can't. I'm already in the Webtoon contract, that's how it goes. And they're like, oh, okay, I guess.
Oh boy.
And then they left, and I was like, oh, they were so nice. I'm sad I can't print with them. And then it turns out, it turned out like this. So it was just really, oh my god, I'm so dumb. But it was just like, oh, why didn't I just like ask further? I just automatically assumed it. But anyway, yeah. So that's a story of how it all started.
That's
I'm very
hilarious.
honored.
I love it.
That also just like shows a really fun side of your personality, where it's just like you didn't have like this, like that wasn't automatically like something where you're like, oh, like I'm bound to be picked up and begged to be put, to put my content into print, and like everyone everywhere is going to come towards me and ask me for permission to print my content. You know what I mean? Like you were like, there's no way in this universe that's ever going to be a thing. I just think that like shows how humble you are. I feel like that's a cute story.
It's more like I guess, yeah, but it's also like, it's a webtoon, which is like, like who reads webtoons other than Girl DM? Like,
I think lots of people do. Lots of people do.
Hello?
Like
I
12-year-olds?
So many. I read so many. It's not even. I have a problem. I honestly do. I have a problem. I am currently reading like. I am current on more than 100 webtoons.
Oh my
That's
god!
I don't read nearly as much as DM, but still, I read webtoons here and there.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just so disconnected from it because I'm always drawing it, and I'm never like
you have to, it's your work, right?
And I have not looked at my creator page in about like a year and a half, and I'm not going to, right? Because like I don't know how many subs I have, I don't know views, I don't know any comments, nothing. I don't look at any of that because I just create to create. I make my story to tell my story. I don't make it to like look at all that other stuff. So like to me, there's no, I don't know. It's just, I'm like, why would you pick me up when you could pick up like a mangaka who's like going to make a way better looking thing, and like just take them and put them on the shelf. But I found out later that actually Webtoon does have a lot of readers, and they do like having comics that are done already.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just a big surprise. But it's very fun, and I'm so happy I have the opportunity to work with them. And they're all so nice. I cannot stress enough how nice everybody from Viz is and how professional they are. And it's very, very fun. It's just a lot of work on top of Webtoon.
Well, I think that's something for listeners to look forward to. What was it, 2024 you said? 2024
is when the first one comes out.
I'm going to need to clear some space on my bookshelf by then.
I'm going to have to buy a whole new bookshelf.
I'm going to buy them all.
A year. Nice. Thank you. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of bonus content. Woo!
Yay!
And God knows there's other stuff in there. I don't know. And I'm still drawing the Webtoon at the same time, by the way.
Yeah. That is still a thing that's happening.
Yeah,
Gabe's hard worker.
I don't draw one a week. I draw 3 a month now to fit an extra week to do like the other stuff. But still, I was up really late yesterday because I started a new chapter, and I was like getting really into like the story that I was drawing, and then I look at the clock and it's like 5 o'clock, and I'm like, I have to wake up in like 4 hours. And I wake up in 5 hours, and I'm late. So
it was okay. Happened. It all worked out.
Yeah. You guys just wake up so early. 10 a.m. Are people alive at 10 a.m.?
Yeah.
I woke up at 8:30 this morning.
It's harder for you guys because for me and Harune, it's ESTs. So
we started at 1 p.m. Yeah. But I do stream at 10 a.m.
Bro.
So
what the fuck? You're nuts.
Because that's the only time I have, and then because I have like irregular work hours, so.
Bruh, when do you work?
My work time is actually very short. It's only from 4 to 8. But
4 to 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. Oh, those are weird hours.
Yeah.
Piano teacher.
Yeah. So it's a super.
You're a teacher?
Yeah, I'm a private piano instructor. So
Yeah, that's
yeah. So it's like that.
I knew you taught.
Yes. So it's like when kids are out of school, and then of course the business has to close. So that's a very, very short window. But my commute is like 30 minutes one way. And then
Commutes suck.
so yeah, so it's like when I want to stream and then still have time to do things like laundry, grocery shop, cook meals for myself, and like do all that stuff, I have to just stream early in the morning, but not so early that like nobody's watching. It's a weird thing. So
10 a.m. is like, you are like the early bird.
Yeah.
You are like
it's not though.
But it's not 10 a.m. for like me. It's like 7 a.m. for me.
That's true.
Which is why, it makes sense whenever I go to Twitch, I never see you online.
Yeah,
It's like streaming because I'm asleep 100% of the time.
You might see her when you're about to go to bed.
Yeah, maybe like right when if I have a particularly late night, maybe I don't know. I've just never seen it. I'm just like, your hours are just so far away from the times I'm alive, which is kind of sad.
It's the opposite of a lot of people.
Sad.
I'm same time zone as her. I just have a like regular 9 to 5 job. That's why I wake up at 10.
Right.
Yeah, we do sometimes keep you up very late.
Yeah. I mean, my first work meeting isn't until 9:50. As long as I'm awake for that, I'm okay.
9:50. That's early, man.
So I have a 9 to 5 job on paper, but I haven't shown up at 9 in like 2 years.
It's work from home.
It's work from home, yes. My job is done completely work from home. And I'm pretty sure they know. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know that I'm not actually online at 9. But it's more like as long as the work gets done, they don't care kind of thing.
Yeah, hey, that's good. I mean, your job sounds relatively chill, so.
Oh, no, it's hectic. We're about to enter a 3 very hectic week period.
I mean, the people. The work could be hell, but Clive throws parties in the boss.
Clive doesn't work here anymore.
Yeah, and the boss buys beer and is like, here you guys go, it's anonymous.
Yeah, neither of those people work here anymore.
Oh, shit. Okay, I don't know. I don't
know. Anyways.
Yeah.
As you do.
As you do.
Well, yeah, wow. 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
That happens every time we have a guest. We just have so much more to talk about.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know how long podcasts are supposed to be.
It's however
I don't know. I've seen some that go for like 8 hours, and I'm like, wow, what is this? And I'm like, oh, true crime. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
There we go.
That's a commitment. That's something I'd listen to over the like 2 week.
Right.
It's like every time I'm in the car, I'd listen to a snippet of it. But
that's like, and I started watching Critical Role. There was just too much though, but they have really long episodes.
Yeah, I can see Critical Role definitely being like longer ones too, huh?
I know Harune really likes to recommend another D&D one.
Oh my god. Okay. Well. Okay. I really like Dungeons and Daddies, which is not a BDSM. It is not a BDSM podcast. It is not a BDSM podcast. It is a.
What is it?
Not a. I mean, with the recent news of Wizards of the Coast. Yeah, it is. It is not. Wink, wink. A Dungeons and Dragons podcast. And they're on their season 2 now, but the original pitch, like for season 1, was about 4 dads whose sons get teleported into the Forgotten Realm, and then they have to go in and save them. So it's like this great story about like done from the perspective of these dads, and the DM is Anthony Birch, who has done some writing for video games. I think he actually had some hand in the writing of this recent God of War, Ragnarok.
Wow.
His sister Ashley Birch is the voice actress for Aloy in Horizon.
I love Aloy.
Yes, and this man is so funny, and the whole group is just funny too, and I just love their thing. But they don't follow D&D rules very strictly. It's more for them about telling a really good story, and then it's just like lightly sprinkled D&D along the way. So for people who are like really big fans of Critical Role because they love both the seriousness of the acting. I mean, yes, there's some funny things in there apparently, but they like try to follow the rules very strictly in terms of how the game is played. And I feel like if that's what they like so much about it, they might not like Dungeons and Daddies, but I personally love it. Like, I think it's such a great story. So yeah, I don't know. If you're looking for something to listen to, and you think Critical Role just has too much, I kind of recommend Dungeons and Daddies.
Thank you. I've been recently I've been watching just a bunch of anime, getting caught up on my anime
Noise.
as my
Ooh.
quote background noise, which
Nice.
I hate treating it as background noise because the animators and everybody works so hard on it, right?
Yeah.
But that's what's been keeping me from watching it, is because I'm like, oh, I need to give it 100% attention, and then I haven't watched. I just started JoJo Part 4.
Oh my god, so did we. Wait,
yeah,
no, not
where
part 4.
which
I'm
is
sorry.
like
Sorry, wrong part.
you started the recent one.
We're doing Stone Ocean. Yeah, but
Stone
part 4
Ocean.
is Diamond is Unbreakable, right?
Yeah,
Oh my
like
god,
I read.
it's so good.
I
Yeah,
still
like-
haven't watched any JoJo.
I've watched half of season 1, and then whatever
Araki
Harune made me
is-
watch.
He's just a genius. I have no other way of saying it. Like the first one is boring. Sorry, Araki. The first one's very boring. The second one's funner. The third one is even better. The fourth one is my favorite one.
I started my JoJo experience with Diamond is Unbreakable, and that's how I fell in love with it.
it's so good. It's just
so,
the way
it's so good. Yes.
the way that Araki writes things. I read his book. Araki wrote a book about making manga. And that was the only time I've read a book in like the past 10 years. And I read it from start to finish in one sitting because he's such an interesting guy. And the way he sees making manga is so interesting. And it
He's
shows
also an immortal vampire.
he is an immortal
He
vampire.
doesn't
Yes.
age. That man does not age.
Yeah. And it's like anyway, I just started watching it recently because I put it off. I wanted to watch it right when it came out because I had read everything, right? I read up to the most recent part at that time, which was part 7 with like Johnny. And I wanted to watch it, but I was like, no, I need to wait for a time when I can give it my full attention because it deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
And then here we are, like 8 years later or some amount of time later. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put it on and get it done with because I cannot keep putting this off because I'm never going to be able to give my full attention. So I'm getting through all the anime I've missed for like the past like 6 years or whatever.
Wow,
Nice.
we got a lot of work to do, but
A lot of work to do. Jesus.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, thank you again, GraveWeaver, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
really appreciate it. It was big fun times. It's been a long time
Mhm.
since we last chatted, so
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. It was so fun to talk. I'm sorry I was late.
you're fine.
Thank you for having such a fun little podcast here that I could tune in on and chat with you all. And it was very epic and poggers.
Yeah, thank you so much for
you.
joining.
We
Yeah.
do have the previous 2 seasons on YouTube as well for anyone that needs background noise.
True, that's true, that's true. If you really want noise and not something you have to commit to watching, we have seasons 1 and 2 of GHK Radio on a playlist literally labeled GHK Radio.
It
thank
is
you,
very entertaining though when people approach me, like first time viewers approach me and they're like, "Oh yeah, like I found out about you guys through GHK Radio." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Like
It doesn't
people
happen
actually,
often, but yeah.
Yeah,
not
it
that
doesn't happen
often.
often, but when it does, it's just like, hey.
It does, but they always approach me with this like tone of pity.
No,
Pity?
that's not
They're just
it.
like,
yeah.
oh,
no, Grave.
man.
Do you know the alternative title of this podcast?
No.
Okay, so it's GHK Radio, right? Because it's Girl DM, Harune, and Kai, right?
Uh-huh.
The alternative name for the podcast is Girls Harassing Kai.
Oh, accurate. So
It-
true.
It very often how it happens is the first time viewers will be like, "Oh wow, you're God!" Like I've heard GHK Radio, I've heard that radio from Harune, or I've heard that radio from Girlian, and then they'll just be like, "So why do they hate you so much?"
I bet
Yo.
literally no one has ever asked that.
No, it's not like I paraphrase the wording, but like generally they're just like, "Yeesh!" Like how do you like
It's because
why?
we're friends. Because we
You
don't
Because
mean
we're
it.
friends, and Kai will complain if he's not being bullied.
It's true. He'll do everything in his power to get bullied.
He'll actually get upset. If
Yeah,
he's
you
not
have
being
to
bullied.
roughhouse your friends. It's how
Oh,
you
yeah.
show
Gosh.
affection.
Oh my gosh.
Okay? It's like when you see your cat and you give them a big firm pat on the butt. And then they kind of shift to the side a little bit. And so you give them another one, right? It's tough love.
Then it's a strong enough pat that the cat like falls off the couch. Because you can
You're
tell
just
from the
swapping it off the
reaction
couch.
that
You're
it was
literally just like
yay!
You're just throwing your cat around the room at that point.
But you know
Oh
what?
my
The cat
gosh.
never said, no, stop it.
The cat can't
it's
talk.
a cat, Harune. What do you mean? The cat
The
never
cat
said
keeps
no,
coming
so it's
back and
okay.
putting
That's
its
right.
butt
The
up
cat
again.
the cat wants more.
Yo, my
Oh.
cat loves like when you just start patting them so hard. My cat
Yep.
just freaking loves it. Like they're
That's
like,
Kai.
You sure about that?
yo,
Yep,
my
that's
cat
Kai.
loves it. My cat will come up to me and like poke me with his paw for me to start just like roughhousing him. But
You know when a dog wags its tail, it likes it. When a cat wags its tail, it hates it. You know
no
that.
cat
yeah?
isn't wagging its tail. The cat is purring.
That's
Uh,
so great.
And then it keeps
Trust
coming
me.
back.
Yeah, the cats are like weird. Like cats.
The more you talk, the more your cat sounds like an abuse victim. It keeps coming back.
No,
It keeps coming back.
no, my cat. Like seriously, he's like sometimes sometimes he has days where he just wants to chill on his own. And most of the time, though, he has days where he never stops bugging me. I'll be sitting here drawing. He'll get on his back legs and he'll poke me because he wants me to pick him up and just hold him and like jiggle him around. And then I'll put him down and then he'll come back and poke me because he's like, that wasn't long enough, bitch.
Oh,
Hold me again. And I'll be like, okay. And I'll pick him up and I'll hold him. And then I'll get up and he'll lay in front of my feet while I'm walking. So I get down and I start, I pat him very firmly on the rump, right? And he's just like, yeah, pat me, I love it. And then I get up, and then he looks at me when I get up. He's like, whoa, where are you going? I wasn't done being pat, and he'll chase me around. So no, cats are like,
Yep.
they'll let you. When they like something, they're like instinctually try to hide their emotions, but when they like it because they follow you.
So all
And
cats
they're
are tsunderes, is what I'm hearing.
yes.
Yes, they
And
are like
Kai is a
mega tsundere. So yeah, you're tsundere too. So you actually like being bullied.
Yep.
It's
Well,
true.
guys, thank you so much for watching and listening to this week's episode of GHK Radio.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much. Look forward to it, and happy Lunar New Year. I know by the time this comes out, it will have way passed, but gotta give our
it's the
well
thought that
wishes.
counts.
True. So thank you guys all for coming. We'll see you next time, and それでは皆さん、またね。バイバイ。
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.